So I want to give you some moolah. So sine money giveaway namhlanje, okay? You have to guess where exactly I am in the world. You need to give me the city, okay? Ngitshele ukuthi ngikuphi. I'll give you a clue. Ngikwi island. I'm on an island. Hubster and I are currently on vacation on an island. You just have to guess where exactly we are. And I'm going to be trying coconut water for the very first time. Usually hubby sips on it. I don't, because I've heard it doesn't taste as good and as exotic as it looks. But I was like, let me try it, especially after learning about the health benefits that it has. So I was like, okay, let's do this damn thing. And especially since namhlanje sizoba money giveaway where we're asking our viewers, our sugar binga bungas, where exactly we are. This is perfect for the theme yetu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit the like button. You can actually tap twice on your screen during the live, but once the live is over, you'll have to hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button so everybody knows who we are inside Riteni. Where am I? I am currently on an island. I need you to tell me where exactly I am, and you will win 500 rands. Let's go. Let's try. Yeah, ne? Yeah. Let me sip again and I'll tell you exactly what it tastes like. It's quite warm. I was expecting it to be a bit colder than this. I don't know why. It's warm. It is a bit sour. Kind of tastes like ass juice. But it's not bad, hey? I feel like people who have told me about it tastes like coconut water have just been super hubberizing. It tastes I can't stand it. I only drink it for the health benefits, and for the aesthetics, because this means you're out there living your best life. But it's really not bad. It does taste healthy, and for me now personally, healthy food, healthy stuff, anything healthy tastes gross. But I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do to stay fly and sexy and healthy, so we do what we need to do, even when we're on vacation on islands and shit. Warm, sour, tastes healthy. What else does it taste? Tastes like ass juice, but like healthy ass, like clean ass. Beautiful, fresh booty. Yeah. So I've tried coconut water for the very first time, and this was not bad at all. I'll keep sipping as we go. Hello, my sugar binga bungas. Welcome to my channel. I don't even know if it's bingelele. I'm just so excited because I've been ill for quite some time. I've been island hopping. So I caught a cold, and yeah, in umbe pants, and I've been meaning to come on here and just talk to you guys, catch up, let you know where I am. But then I decided, no, let me not tell you where I am. Rather, you guess. And I give back, yabo, for all the support that you have been giving me. I'm super grateful. I am beyond grateful. Keep it up. Hit the like button when you join. Let your charners know that we are out here. Share the video and share the link so that bezongena nabanye. Anywho, guess what? Tiwa Wendy Williams' light is gone. Guess what? Tiwa Musa Khawula is a goner. And I'm just like, I am clutching my pearls, because what do you mean? The Musa Khawula? I feel like, angiko right, angiko ready. I can't believe it. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it, because I feel like Musa is not the dying type. A lot of people are saying these are just rumors. People are making this up. It's a hoax. And abantu banomona because Musa is the gossip blogger, and they're trying to eliminate nje image yakhe and ubiyena presence yakhe, existence yakhe completely, so that we can focus on all the other bloggers. Others are just like, no, he's in prison. Like Musa is serving his 2-month sentence. He's alive. Like he's just chilling, doing what he needs to do in order to survive. Because after that, Uzo Puma, and then he's gonna face a whole lot of backlash and a whole lot of other cases because a lot of people have been suing him left, right, and center, and he's been super cocky saying, "Wuti, andinayo sent mdak." So a lot of people are frustrated and mad at him. So people are gunning for him, and considering that fact, it's not unbelievable ukuthi mhlambe khona umqumbe phansi because he's pissed off a lot of people in high places. Umusa has no filter. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. He will talk about you regardless of who you are, regardless of the socioeconomic status you hold. He does not care. He will expose you. Agumbule izing. And I love that about him, especially when he reveals izinto ezimbi, because I don't believe in biting your tongue, filtering yourself, sparing the reputation or the image of umuntu ophedayo, you know? So yeah, I'm rooting for Umusa, and I truly do hope he is not gone. Like I can't deal. How you doing, Musa? Where are you? Please come back. Join me. Where you can go? Hey, King Grayson, I see you, boo. Listen, so yeah, I don't believe it. If it is true, that would really suck because, so Musa. Where on earth will we ever find another Musa? Someone so fearless, someone so uncensored, someone who doesn't care who you are, what you do, where you're from, what you can offer him. The truth is the truth. And what I love the most about Musa Khawula is the fact that just like me, he always has receipts. Mina, I believe in having proof. I believe in receipts because I know, trust me, with everything that I have been through, I know that people are liars. People are master manipulators. People are narcissistic. People deny. They could do the craziest ish, the most foul ish to you, to anybody else. And when you say, my goodness, how could you? When you call them out on their BS, they will deny. They will flip the script and make you seem like you're crazy. They will go and gossip and change the entire narrative and gossip about you and tell the craziest lies about you and act all confused and make it seem like you're just coming up with random stories when they know good and well that they did the craziest ish. So I believe in proof, I believe in receipts, and I'll always respect Umusa for making sure ukuthi there's always something epruvayo lento ayishoyo akavele nje aphule adonse izinto from his anus. Yayibona into engishoyo? So Nje, if he really is gone, my goodness, R.I.P. Musa Khawula. You are legendary in these streets, Wendy Williams Light, okay? You are legendary. You've played your part. You've left your mark. But I truly do hope you aren't D-E-A-D. I can't say that because YouTube is filterishi way bantu. I really hope you're not gone for good. I really hope you're not gone for good. I feel like you're super young and you still have to offer the world so many more things. You still have so much to offer. So yeah, no, I'm really hoping he'll just be like, hey, bitches, bitch. I heard nithi ngishonile kuphi khona ngila and ngizonkiphela zonke iy'kendle ngizombula zonke izinqa zabantu bese just ngifile osomizi bese berejoyisa beconfirma inyona oqala wena somizi adishe zonke iy'kendle. Like I feel like that's gonna happen. I hope that happens, you know, but hey, it is what it is. Life can be super short, but it also can be very long. So I feel like it's important to do right by yourself and to do right by others and to make sure you live it to the fullest. Hence, we out here island hopping. Remember I said, guess where on earth I am, where in the world I currently am, and I will give you 500 rands. Grayson, King Grayson, since you are from the US, we're going to convert 500 rands to US dollars, okay? If you guess this right. Hello, Nati Madolo. Unjani, Betsu. Ngiyaphila. How's it going? I'm good. I'm happy. I'm recovering from a cold. Musa Khawula. but we're out here. So as soon as I recovered, I was like, I'm not fully recovered. I haven't fully recovered, but I'm so much better. And I thought, because life has a tendency, yokuba super short, I need to make sure ukuthi ngiyeza lana ngizocelebrate nani ukuthi ngisaphila, and I need to get all these things nje off my chest because I have a lot to say. But yeah, moving on from Musa Khawula. How are you, Nati Madolo, by the way? Grayson, I see you, King Grayson. Listen, let's move on from Musa Khawula. I need to know, guys, about this Mihlali saga. Like, it's crazy to me how everything unfolded, especially after we had said, child, it's about to get messy. Yeah, but wait now. And guys, this is the thing. What really bothers me about this chat, yaba makwapeni, mistresses, and cheating husbands and whatnot, is that people like to act like the outsiders looking in excuse the husbands or the men, cheating men. No, that is not the case. I feel like there is a saying that goes, men are trash, because we've established that not all men are trash, but most are. And in most cases, when something terrible, when something devastating, when something tragic happens, it's because of a man, And Konalento that I recently read on Twitter, yeah, not all men, but somehow always a man. Because you can't guarantee, you can't be certain, Uguti, the man who's in your life or the man who's approaching you or who's in the same vicinity as you won't harm you. You get me? Because in most cases, that's how, the cookie crumbles. Yeah, well, but it really isn't all men. It's just a saying that says, Uguti, most of the time, men do wreak havoc in everyone's life, including in the lives of other men. That's why the men in our lives keep warning us about other men, So yeah, like we've established that, we've been saying that, and we're not excusing them when they do izinto ezrongi. Sesiqedile ngabo. Now, sikhuluma ngani, we're talking about the women. We're like, dude, why would you allow this man to continue being trash? Why would you help him execute ubudoti bakhe? That's the whole point of calling out mistresses and like evil women who help men do shitty things. That is the whole point. We're not saying ignore the man. He's exempt from consequences and judgment, and men have been getting judged. They are constantly judged. They know this. We already know ukuthi yinja uhlama umgodowe lona. Sikhuluma ngawe ke wena as the woman. Because also you need to realize ukuthi we as women, ithina sibabambe kanje. The ball is always in our court, so we get to decide how things play out. You get me? So when someone approaches you, you get to vet that person and decide, is he worthy of my time? Does he need to be in my life? Do I need him? Do I want him? Will he add value? Is he worthy of me, the queen that I am? You get me? The goddess that I am. So it's very mind-blowing and mind-boggling and just very disappointing when women allow low-value men to just come into their lives and wreak havoc and ruin things. So that's why we focus on the women. We're just like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you allow him to do this manly thing, even though it doesn't apply to all men? Because good men exist, and I keep saying this. And I can't be a pick me because I've already been picked. And quite frankly, I do the picking because I'm smart. Yabo? So I'm not the type of gdlalwa abafana because I know who I am, I know what I want, and this applies to wonke umuntu nje jikelele. So yeah, this Mihlali saga is actually really annoying because Utino Grayson. Oh, I'm talking about Grayson, you probably don't know. Okay, let me fill you in because Grayson is asking me what I'm talking about. So initially I spoke about Musa Khawula, who is quite a popular blogger in South Africa who exposes influencers and celebrities and people of, high status whenever they do crappy things, and he provides receipts. Secondly, Okay, there's a rumor that he has passed away, but other people are saying no, it's not true. People are just jealous of him because a lot of people want to enter his field and become Musa Khawula light, so they're trying to eliminate him and his legacy. Other people are like, no, he's serving his 2-month sentence. He'll be out soon and he'll continue doing his thing. So yeah, there's a rumor that he's gone, and I do not believe it, and I hope it's not true because he is legendary in the South African streets, and I know he'll be global if he keeps doing what he does. Now we're talking about Mihlali. Mihlali is an influencer, a South African influencer, but she's global at this stage. She's the best influencer in Africa, allegedly. Allegedly! And yeah, she's a big deal, and she's collaborated with Rihanna and other global superstars with pertaining to branding, makeup, beauty. Okay, and yeah, she has been dating a married man. Okay, so I'm filling you in, King Grayson. Well, you definitely have to talk about the raggedy women. I have to. I hate this thing where women do not want to be held accountable. I hate that so much. Whenever I do something wrong, even if it's to my husband, like I'm like, yo, hey man, bengizi ngala, like yeah, ngiphetile, ngiyaxolisa. And angisho ukuthi ngenzeni, like I mentioned, okay, I did A, B, C, and D wrong, and that wasn't cool. You didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. So I don't understand why women always want to be perceived as victims in every story, even when they do like izinto that are messed up, even when they do messed up things, even when they're participating and helping people do things that are evil. Like I don't get it. I don't get who taught like women that they are victims and they never have to take responsibility for their own actions, and that whenever the consequences of their actions come knocking at their door, everybody has to be like, oh my gosh, oh, free so and so, bless so and so, justice for so and so. She didn't deserve to go through this. Well, karma, my bro. What is karma, Gandhi? You don't get to decide ukuthi ikarma ifika kuwena kanjani. You don't. I'm sorry. You don't get to wrong people and then be like, okay, if I snatch someone's husband, if one day, and that's a strong if one day I get married, then someone else snatches my husband, then okay, fair and square, that's karma for me. What if you don't get married? Because we know a lot of women, especially in our demographic, do not get married. Like, what if it doesn't happen? You get me? So you don't get to choose ukuthi karma comes at you kanjani and in what form. Like, if something bad happens to you after you had wronged someone, chances are that's your karma. And yes, I know ukuthi GBV is wrong. It sucks. It shouldn't exist. But I also believe that everybody ought to keep their hands to themselves. Everybody ought to keep their hands to themselves, bro. Like, you don't hit a man and then expect him to not hit you because you're a woman. It doesn't work that way. You slap a man, expect a slap. And also, you don't get to decide how someone responds and reacts to your disrespect or to your violence. If they decide to punch you or if they decide to magwaza you, then that's what they decided. Ukuthi ifita icrime yakho. And you don't get to say, but I just slapped you. Why don't you slap me back now, young Joella? Rather, I do something worse because how dare you? What made you think you could do that to me? What made you think that was okay? And like, you're just going to stand back and be like, oh, don't touch me. I'm a woman. That's GBV. No, but you were hitting me. Wasn't that GBV? That doesn't only like favor women. It doesn't only refer to women. Like, GBV isn't just about women, guys. Like, I hate this thing so much. Like, I hate it so much. It's not just about women and children. It's about everybody. Everybody. Like, and I feel like we need to talk about it because when other people talk about it, for example, Usihle, the popular TikToker, when she speaks about these things, they call her a pick me, and they're like, oh, when is someone gonna pick her and finally marry her so she can get off our backs? That's you not trying to be accountable. That's you not wanting to be accountable for my actions. Whether you participate in that shit or not, But like, it's wrong. It's wrong for women to throw rocks and then hide their hands. It's wrong for women to do evil things, and then when evil things happen to them, they play the victim. And they're crying and they want to be understood and supported. Oh, he beat me up. Please be compassionate. Support me. Understand that this is such a difficult time. And in a country where GBV is so rife and it's such a huge issue, we need to be more sensitive to such things. You were not sensitive when you were hitting that guy first. You were not considerate and sensitive when you were bragging and boasting that you took that woman's husband. You were also an abuser. I'm gonna have to cough. Remember, I have a cold. Excuse me. Ooh, it's tough out here. But right. Lucky dude, he truly is. But so am I. I truly am lucky. My hubby is the best. Thank you, King Grayson. Listen, you don't get to decide how you get punished after you do something wrong. Like I said, GBV ain't cool. It's wrong. It shouldn't happen ever. I condemn it. But also, keep your hands to yourself if you don't want to be hit. Okay? Furthermore, just because you were physically violated doesn't make you a saint. You emotionally and psychologically violated Mary Jane, the original Mary Jane. When you started messing with her husband, gloated about it, boasted about it, and tormented her, harassed her. And remember when you were in the same salon and you before you walked in, you were like, Koni tegale, I'm Koni tegale. And you thought that was okay. And you walked in there and you made a face and you made her feel small. And you were busy messing with her husband, who had stopped doing what he needed to do, not only as a husband, but as a father. Because he was busy doing things with you. That rubbish, Onjwana, was busy doing nonsense, amanyala, with you. And you were very proud about that. You felt like you were a winner. And you were calling him your black king, the love of your life, your future husband. And you were busy sucking face, shoving your tongue down. Shoving your tongue down his throat in Mexico, where his card declined. And you lied to us and you said he took you to Mexico and he spoiled you rotten because man. Meanwhile, you were paying for everything because he's actually broke. You took that man still and you stayed with him, having established that he's actually not the grootman that you thought you were. And Mary Jane was actually hustling, a strong, independent queen making ish happen, but she was making it look like her husband was making it pop, when in actuality, she was the beast in the marriage. And you thought you would snatch her husband away from her, cause emotional trauma, emotional scars that will last her a lifetime. Not only her, but her children, his children, your stepchildren as well. And you were like, I want your life. In fact, I want to be you, Mary Jane. You even went as far as wearing outfits that were similar to Mary Jane's, because you wanted to be her. You wanted her life. You snatched her husband and you thought all would be well and you'd live this glamorous life. Meanwhile, you were actually taking umthwalo from Mary Jane's shoulders. You were actually unburdening Mary Jane. Next thing, when he treats you the very same way he had been treating his wife, and he beats you to a pulp, and he cheats on you countless times. Oh my gosh, how dare he? I'm a victim. Help me, save me, feel sorry for me. Understand me, this is such a difficult time. What do you mean? It was such a difficult time for the original Mary Jane. But you didn't care. You laughed about it. You and your stans, not even fans, your stans who promote this disgusting behavior were laughing about it. And you're like, "Hey, umuntu uthathwe emntwini sana." Indoda ithathwa komunye umuntu. Akho ndoda ehleli nje elinde wena ozoyithatha. Ithathwe emntwini, and then your actions determine whether you end up being the wife. Are you the wife now? Are you the wife now? What happened to you? And even if you eventually become the wife, because you've stayed in this relationship to prove other people wrong, to prove the people who were calling you out and being like, dude, what you're doing is wrong, it's disgusting, love yourself, this man isn't even worth it, you're hurting his wife, you're hurting his children. But okay, let's say you don't even care about that. Why don't you care about yourself, your brand, everything you've worked so hard to build? Like, why? Why don't you care about that? Why don't you care about your reputation, your family's reputation? You and yourself. Like, ew. Why are you sleeping with a man who's old enough to be your dad, bro? Like, gross. Can't you find untanga wako who's doing well? Jengawe. Like, why do you have to snatch someone's old-ass husband, someone's... Like, you want to be a stepmom, bro? You spent your entire teens, your 20s, being child-free, taking care of yourself and making sure huti almiti. And then you're going to be a stepmom? Are you serious? That's how low you think you are? Like, Pilla, that's how you think you get me? So it was just strange. It was very shocking to see such a beautiful, such a sexy, well-established woman do that to herself and just... Ew, like she lost so much, even like so much respect, even as someone who would look at her and be like, damn, we're peers and she's out here doing the most, doing big things. I'm so proud of her. She's an inspiration. And I just looked at that and I was like, bro, surely you think you're basic, because only basic bees do that. Only basic bees. Anyway, let me pull up my ting. Yo, guys, I wish I could show you my outfit. Like, it's so sexy. Hubster and I are heading to the beach right after this live. So I'm almost ready. At some point, I'll show you my outfit. Perhaps in the next live or in the next video, in my vlog. I don't know when, how, but you'll see this outfit at some point. Utini Grayson. King Grayson is laughing his butt off. I think everybody, man, woman, child, black, white, whatever race, should be held, okay, I think should be held accountable for whatever they do, excuse me. Grayson is laughing. In Africa, they can have more than one wife, but you don't just choose to have more than one wife. And I think I'm so glad King Grayson asked this question. I'm a tota silly, guys. Like, and please note, when I say this, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm not talking about every man. Just as many women are traitors and they're deceitful and they're gross and evil and I'm not referring to every woman. I'm talking about those women, okay? Because people like acting dense, like you're not talking about the specific group of people that engages in those behaviors. But like, men tend to think they can do whatever they want to do. They can hurt as many people as they want to hurt. They can break up families. They can create families, break them up, go to another spot or weak woman and create another family, leave her, go to another weak woman, create a family, leave her, and do as they please. They can have more than one wife, but there has to be an agreement between that man and the first wife. And the right way to do this, King Grayson, is to actually have your wife, your first wife, come to you and say, you know what, hubby dubby, I feel like we need help. I am struggling with A, B, C, and D, and I can't do it on my own. We need another set of hands. We need another punani to service you because I just don't feel like I'll be able to satisfy you. Whatever it is, or I'm not able to conceive and you want children, so we need someone else to help with that, you know? The wife actually says that, proposes that a new wife comes in. That's how it's done, based on valid reasons. You get me? But over time, men took advantage of this practice and they started being a-holes and they started bullying women into agreeing to welcome new wives into the family. You need a lot of money and a lot of patience for that. You absolutely do. And most of these men who want istembu or polygamy do not have money, bro. King Grayson, it's so unfortunate that you're from the US and you probably don't know about uhlelo, or this program called Mnagwetu. This is where like a man approaches like a polygamist, a famous polygamist in South Africa, and he asks that polygamist to help him convince his wife or his wives, if he already has more than one. He asked that polygamist to help him convince his wife or wives to add more wives into the, the family equation. And in most cases, as the program goes, you establish that that man hasn't even married his first wife. My goodness. Like it's so gross. Like I'm always just like, ew. Why do women put up with this nonsense, my bro? Like you're not even a wife yet. You're still a fiance. Okay? So firstly, that man has probably paid ilobolo. Nakhona akaqedi. Lobola is like dowry, okay, King Grayson? And you have to pay a certain amount that the family, the woman's family says they want for the woman, right? And if you're not able to pay the full amount the first time around, then you come back at a later stage when you've made enough money, to pay the dowry amount, the full dowry amount. And then in most cases, that's how it goes down in Africa. And so the guy will go back and he'll work, he'll save up until he's able to finish. Ne? He pays the dowry amount. Then you guys are fiancés. You get me? You are fiancés. You're not married. A lot of people want to take this shortcut because there are so many steps that need to be taken, especially as Black people in Africa. So many steps require being completed before you can actually say you are married. People like me can say they're married because full amount of lobola, all in one go. Umembe, so everybody in my family was gifted whatever it is that they wanted, they got. Thirdly, umabo, that's when I gift my husband's family, and umbondo, that's when I enter my husband's family's yard and I bring, gifts and food and whatever it is I can afford and what I feel they need or deserve or want or whatever, because I'm going to be staying there and I'll be courtisering, I'll be staying there and I'll be playing my wifely duties for a while, however long I want to stay. Back then, like, people would decide for the wife, but nowadays, as young wives, we get to decide, especially with our modern husbands who are not abusive towards us but who want us to have, independence and agency, autonomy, etc. We make our own decisions, or we discuss these things and we come to an agreement and we're like, okay, just a couple of weeks or a month is okay, or however long the wife wants to stay. Yeah, bo? So you stay there, you cook, you clean, whatever it is that works for you or that the family expects from you. Yeah, bo? And then after that, it's the actual wedding. But it depends. You can do it whichever way you want to do it. But there must be an actual wedding. La kubhiyozwa khona kugcagcwa, kucelebratewa. Whether it's a church wedding where there's umfundisi, a pastor, a priest who marries you guys, or whatever it is, an MC. I don't know. It depends on how you want to go about it. And that's done. In our African culture, that's done. You can go about it the white wedding way or the traditional wedding way, but there must be a ceremony ekuthiwa okay umshado ke lona sesilobolile saqeda sambesa saba senza umbondo etc. So now sesiyashada, and sekusainiwe. Also, you need to go and sign. You need to sign. During the lobola negotiations, you have like people taking down notes, would see what's happening, what we agreed on. Okay, at this time, we concluded the lobola negotiations, everybody signs, etc. And then you go to the courthouse. That's what you call it in America, the courthouse or home affairs, and you sign. and you actually get legally married, because initially you were getting customarily married, and then you sign, and then you have that big beautiful wedding if you want it. Other people can't afford it, so they end up saying they don't want it, but like everybody wants a big beautiful wedding where all their loved ones are there. But like other people just decide to have a small anyana thing where it's just them and the husband, or a couple of witnesses, or just a few family members and friends, and it's done. That's how it's done. But in most cases, the men there haven't even completed the first step, the man in Mnagwetu, but they already have a second, a third, a fourth wife. And it's like, why are you calling these people your wives? They aren't your wives, bro. These are your girlfriends. You only have one semi-fiance, and then you have girlfriends. And bro, like nikipitile nonke, like what is this? Yeah, and so it's like, it's very, very disheartening, very, very disrespectful and disappointing. Ukuthi, like our African culture, our traditions, our customs, and all these beautiful things that used to be practiced in order to create strong, stable family structures and unions are now being taken advantage of and just discredited and just violated and dismantled, because people are doing whatever it is they want to do. Abantu bafuna ukufeba legally, or bafuna ukufeba with their wives knowing ukuthi bayafeba. And for me, when the women allow it, it pisses me off. You're not even a wife yet, you're just a fiance, a semi-fiance, because they just sent a letter to her home, and they're like, on the specific date we'd like to come and pay lobola or dowry, right? And then the family's like, okay, sure. And they wait and wait and wait until sometimes even the future husband passes away. You're not a wife. You're not even a fiance, bro. Like, you're nothing. You're a girlfriend. But people are like, I'm a wife. Nakhona, after the lobola negotiations, after everything has been completed, you're not a wife. You're just a fiance. But people take in their semi-fiancés, their girlfriends, or just their fiancés. They live with them, and they're like, because I paid for you, I'm done with you. I'm going to move on to the next person. Even after they promised, I'm going to come back. My family and I are still going to come back, pay this and that, and apologize for taking so long to do right by you and make you an honest woman. And just thank you and your family for your patience, yabo. And I'm gonna marry you the right way, and I'm gonna finish every step. But nah, and then the wife is just there. The wife, and I'm gonna put it in inverted commas, is just there, enduring that, just patiently waiting for years and years. And then they start giving birth. Oh my brew, I just want to scream and be like, Weasley, mawenzani, uzalelani, you're just a girlfriend, you're not a wife. Why are you giving him babies? And then they start making babies, and it's like, the nigga's just like, why am I marrying you? You're already playing the wife role. Why should I marry you? You're the mother of my children already. Like, you're done. Like, it's done. I don't have to work for anything else. You've done everything that I've wanted in a wife. So why should I waste my money and my time and all of that? Like, there's no need. Let me find someone else who doesn't have children, someone else who I haven't done anything for, and who's willing to wait until the whole process and every stage has been covered properly before they give me children. And then they keep introducing these young wives, and it's yeah. In most cases, bottom line is, King Grayson, in most cases, these people aren't even married. They aren't even married. They're cohabitating. And by kipita, which is what we call fat and set in South Africa. By kipita, but because there have been promises that were made by the man. I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to marry you one day. Just be patient. Work with me, baby. And because you're there, staying and allowing this nonsense to continue, and allowing him to continue disrespecting you and not do right by you, he brings in someone else. And then he brings in another, because the second wife is also okay with it. And then the third wife, and the fourth, and the fifth, and it's like a never-ending cycle. And it just defeats the whole purpose of a polygamous marriage. People just want to cheat in peace. That's it. But that's not a polygamous marriage. No one has a proper one nowadays. People are just playing games. People are abusing women. They're violating. They're taking advantage of the kindness and the stupidity and the weakness of most women. That's it. I thought polygamous marriages were for really wealthy people because their assets are too much and they need to share, not because a man has 3 houses and 4 cars. Listen, Meep. Listen. Spot on. Spot on. For really wealthy people, not just rich, not just okay, not just financially stable, for wealthy people. And that's why it was often done in Mandulo. And you'd know that someone is wealthy because they'd have a lot of cattle, livestock, whatever. Like they were rich in a sense. Yase Mandulo. You get me? Please excuse me. Let me have a sip of my coconut water. Tastes like sweet ass. Clean, healthy, fresh ass. So y'all, I need to get a cough out. Oh, child. The things I do for you even when I'm not super healthy. So yeah, I thought polygamous marriages were only for wealthy people, not because you have 3 houses and 4 cars. You're absolutely right, Meep. People are just playing games. They're taking advantage of people. And whenever umuntu sees ukuthi, oh, I'm doing okay-ish, and because of the economic situation right now in Africa, a lot of people are taking advantage of that as well, and they're just like, oh well, a lot of people are struggling. Most of the women that I entertain and I want in my life and I want to marry or actually play with are quite young, super gullible, super impressionable. So they'll be like, they'll see my beautiful BMW, my Range, and my Merc, and they'll be like, oh, you out here doing the damn thing. You're winning. Let's go. Oh my, you have a crib. Oh, you have more than one crib. We're rich. A lot of people don't understand wealth. And so they fall into that trap and they'll try and hold on to that guy no matter what he does to them, no matter how much of a cheater he is, no matter how much he scopes and donors them, no matter how disrespectful, cold-hearted, emotionally unavailable he is, they'll stick beside him because they feel like they don't have other options, because most people are just living average, ordinary lives. You get me? So, hey man, it's very, very sad because people are using their quote-unquote riches to lure in women and to play with them, basically. Sounds like dudes. Yeah. Dudes are just running game. Absolutely, King Grayson. Sounds like dudes are just running game. They are running game. They absolutely are running game. They're playing games. They're taking advantage of women. They're looking at the desperation and the desperate times that actually really do call for desperate measures. A lot of women are now selling their booty holes and every other hole that can be sold in order to survive, because the economy, and it's tough. It's tough. The unemployment rates are super low in various different countries. So it's super tough for everybody. But we do have a teeny weeny percentage that's doing fairly well, and those are the targets of those who aren't doing really well, and they will stay with you no matter what, simply because you can give them or you can provide a comfortable life. Eish, bruh. It's very, very sad. Excuse me. I don't have any kids, but I have heard African dudes that come here and talk about how the black man leaves their... Yeah! How the black man leaves their wives, his wife, his girlfriends, his baby mamas. Yeah, absolutely. It's a thing. It's a thing. And I just saw that Cam interview. Let me talk about someone that you actually relate to, someone you know. You saw that video of Cam with Dr. Bryant. Yeah, Dr. Bryant, where Cam was just like, a lot of people judge me based on my situation. And Dr. Bryant was like, what's your situation? He's like, well, I have 8 children. And Dr. Bryant was like, 8 children? With how many women? And he's like, with 3 women. And it's like, oh my, that's like a huge red flag. That's not even a flag, it's a sheet. It's a curtain. Huge red curtain. And he was just like, yeah. And so like Dr. Bryant is like, but like, why? Why would you do that? What makes you think that's okay? You're out here creating broken families, negatively impacting the livelihoods of innocent children. And why aren't you marrying these women, and making honest women out of them? And why are you just making them baby mamas, bro? Because ultimately, I don't care who says what. King Grayson, Meep, Nati Madolo, I don't care who says what, and anyone else who's on here, because I can't see everybody. Some people are just silently peeking. But yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get why women allow this to keep going on, because like I said, the ball's in our court, my bro. We get to decide. We get to decide whose baby we have, whose babies we have, who we marry, well, we don't get to decide who we marry. Well, we do. Even though like they need to propose to us, we don't have any power or control over that. So that's why it doesn't usually happen for most women, and they're bitter and miserable and angry, and they tend to misdirect their anger, and they're super angry at like married women, and they're just like, you think you're better than us. And it's like, but dude, I didn't tell these men not to marry you. I'm sorry that nobody wants to make you their wife. I'm sorry that nobody sees you as their wife and would do anything, whatever it takes, work as hard as they possibly can to save up and do what's right and make an honest woman out of you, instead of just a long-term girlfriend, a lifetime partner, or a baby mama. It's not my fault. I don't convince them and persuade them into just making you indonji. It's not my fault. So I don't get why unmarried women are so mad at married women, and they have these assumptions that we think we're better than them, and we're all high and mighty, we're on our high horses, and we hate them, we think less of them, and we belittle them. It's weak, it's weird. Like, that's how you feel. That's what you think of yourself, and it kind of does make sense, because they are better than you, but like, it's not your fault that nobody has chosen to marry you. In most cases, sometimes people don't marry you because you're just a terrible person. That's it. Like, men get to decide if they want to keep someone who's like a good person, who's mentally stable, financially stable, who's smart. They also get to, to vet. It's not just about picking anyone, just because you're a woman and you have a JJ, I'm gonna marry you. No, they also get to vet. They also get to decide based on their preferences, their standards, their expectations. And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm also not sorry, because it's the truth, and we need to start hearing this. Like, some women are just trash. They are evil, they are garbage, they are demanding, they have dark hearts, they are jealous, they're ridiculously competitive, they're insecure, they yap, non-stop about nothing, they don't help with anything, they don't add any value, they just think their vajayjays are enough. Like, nobody wants that, bro. And if they do cuff that, trust and believe they ill-treat that, and they search for better eventually. You get me? And that's why a lot of people don't believe that they are faithful men, because they're so used to this toxic cycle where women constantly get cheated on. And this isn't to say this is the woman's fault, because anyone who cheats has issues. These are your issues. It has nothing to do with the person that you're cheating on. You are just a messed up person. But sometimes people realize super late, Uti, my goodness, I married garbage. I married a piece of shite. You get me? And then they start searching elsewhere. But it's too late, because now you're cheating and you're just like that garbage that you left in the house. Rather get rid of them, move on in a healthy, positive and more respectful way. Don't cheat on someone. Leave them. Once you decide and once you've established that they're not your cup of tea, leave them. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people, not just men, but a lot of people end up cheating in relationships and in marriages, because they just realize, hey man, I'm not satisfied here because of A, B, C, and D. It could be for whatever reason, but they go about it the wrong way. Instead of leaving and pursuing a different relationship, a healthier relationship, after having dissolved of the previous one that wasn't meeting their standards and wasn't making them happy, they cheat. And it's just like, that's wrong. You get me? So yeah, where were we? Let's see. The old guy from Africa said, oh my gosh, you have it so easy here. I used to sleep. Oh my gosh. Which old guy is this? We don't sleep in huts. I'm sorry. Like, that's just like such an ancient practice. Like, that's very rare nowadays. And people who sleep in huts actually choose to sleep in huts. It's not like it's difficult and they can't afford houses and whatnot. Like, South Africa, let me speak for South Africa because I'm from South Africa, even though I don't live there anymore. But I'm from South Africa and it's literally gorgeous. We have houses, we have buildings, we have everything, shopping centers, everything you could possibly think of, actual vehicles. We don't ride on horses and freaking lions, tigers, and bears. We don't walk around barefoot. We don't walk around dangling our vajayjays and our peepees. We don't like eat from trees, and we don't hunt and gather, stuff. We don't hunt animals in order to get, like, we go to the grocery store. We freaking, drive vehicles. We sleep in beds and houses. Yeah, and I know a lot of people all over the world tend to be very ignorant. As someone who's very well traveled, I've come across a lot of people who thought because I'm from Africa, I come from a hut or I sleep on the floor and I ride on lions, tigers, and bears. That isn't the case, and I feel like a lot of people still need to educate themselves. That isn't the case. Sounds like we are cursed people everywhere. Ooh. Ooh. It sounds like we are cursed people everywhere. That is so powerful, King Grayson. It really does sound that way because our demographic, I'm talking about our kinfolk, like, brew, we do the craziest things. It is infested with degenerates. Like, it's so crazy how the craziest things, the most disgusting, immoral practices have been normalized in our culture. People are lying about not wanting to get married. We all know that that's a lie. People are lying about not wanting to build stable, solid, healthy, positive foundations for, families. People are lying about the jobs that they do, and they say, like, prostitution. Like, ew, brew, I hate how censored YouTube is. But, like, selling his ass is, like, normal, and it's okay, and it's the in thing, and we need not shite on people who partake in that. But, like, it's immoral. It's not okay. It's inappropriate. It's sad. And I know sometimes things get super hard and people resort to selling their anuses in order to survive. But man, we always have choices, eh? There's always a different choice that can be made, a choice where your dignity is still intact. I know it's tough. I know. Especially for people who have children. But also we go back to the question of, why did you have children when you weren't financially stable enough to take care of them? Why did you have children outside of wedlock? Why did you have children when you were not ready to provide a life for them that you yourself did not get? The only time you should be able to say, yeah, now's the time for me to start reproducing, and bringing about my offspring, is when you're like, I'm saying, Nandi, I'm good, like, I'm ready, I've achieved everything I've wanted to achieve, I'm married, happily and healthily married, and I'll be able to provide a life that is, phenomenal for my children, a better life than the one that I had. And if anything were to go wrong, because sometimes things do go wrong, people lose their jobs even after they were working for a long time, working beautiful jobs, having successful businesses. Sometimes things just don't work out. But you have to reach a point where you're like, even if things don't work out job wise, I'll still be good enough to take care of my kids. I'll still have funds readily available to ensure that my kids are good. But people just reproduce because they can. And I hate that so much. You're subjecting these pure, innocent souls to just trauma. And when your kids despise you, you act all surprised and confused when it's your own doing. And it's like so simple not to fall pregnant, bruh. It's so simple not to impregnate. So I don't get why you guys are acting like it's such a life happens, Yeah, we all wanted to get married and we all had our lives planned out. We were going to go to school. go to university, graduate, get amazing jobs, start successful businesses, get married, meet the love of our lives, get married, and start procreating. Nah, bro, you could have. What changed? Life didn't happen to you. You had a choice and you made the wrong one. There are so many ways to prevent pregnancy. You just made the wrong one. And I don't want to say what I want to say because a lot of people fall into that category, into that group of people who just have children and who say, well, life happened. We never just wanted to have children out of wedlock and unprepared but life happened. You're lying. You had a choice and you made the wrong one. That's it. And I'm so tired of all this misdirected anger and people trying to make us feel guilty for making the right choices, for waiting until marriage and for not having children even when we're married, because we're still living our best lives, enjoying the company of our spouses, traveling the world, working our dream jobs, starting our beautiful businesses, and we still have so many other future plans, and we're waiting for the time that fits us, that's right, that works for us. And people constantly making it seem like ngazi senze ngomlingo and thina zenza ngcono. Meanwhile, you had the same cards. The same cards were dealt to you, but you decided. You made a decision to be in the position that you're in. Like, I'm so tired of people trying to make us feel guilty, and like we constantly have to shy away from bragging even or praising ourselves for doing what's right and walking like a proper path in life and making the right decisions. We have to be timid. We have to be modest and humble because we step on people's toes when we're proud of ourselves for doing the right thing. And we're not even like rubbing it in their faces and just shitting on them and being like, oh, you're dumb, your life didn't work out the way you wanted it to, or the way my life worked out. Gabi, no. Like, I should be able to say, I'm out with my hubby on vacation, and I'm having the time of my life. I should be able to say that, but every time I say that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know this is just like a dagger in someone's heart. And that sucks. You know, I had this conversation with my sister at some point, and I was like, because she was just like, we were out at our cousin's baby shower, and it was getting late, and she was like, Brew, you need to go back to your husband, Brew. It's getting super late. It's getting dark. Like, you need to be safe and go back to hubby. And I was like, yeah, no, I need to get back to my shushu. And she was like, why aren't you calling him hubby? And I was just like, Brew, like, it feels like, and she completed the sentence for me, and she's unmarried, and she completed the sentence for me, and she's like, I know, it feels like you're bragging. It feels like you're rubbing it in the faces of unmarried people that you're married. I get it. And that must suck. And I was like, it absolutely sucks, because it's not like I'm lying. That is my husband. That is my reality. I'm married. I'm happily married. So I don't get why I need to tiptoe around other people's egos, fragile, broken egos, and I need to nurse their situations. I didn't choose their situations for them. It's not my fault that their lives worked out the way that they did. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, I'm stating a fact. It's my reality. I need to go back home to my husband, you know? But like, it's so tough to say that. It's so tough to be like, oh, my husband just bought me a diamond bracelet, because it's just like, she's bragging again, she's flexing again, simply because we don't have that, and now she's rubbing it in our face. Like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy how apologetic and modest and humble we have to be. We, the people who made the right choices, the people who got blessings from the right choices that we made, have to be, you know, self-conscious and always aware and always like super of other people's feelings. Like, that's so unfair. Like, and I hate how, like, you know, like the perpetrators of like really crappy things in life are the ones who are constantly like the victims. Like, everybody feels sorry for them, but nobody's like, but Brew, why is it okay for y'all to just be like hateful towards like young wives and child-free people, or people who are waiting to have children at a later stage for whatever reason? Like, why is it okay for y'all to just badmouth those people and be weird towards them and be jealous, openly jealous and vicious, and say the foulest, meanest things, And like when they come back at you and it's like, oh, because you think you're better than me, give, chances are your husband is cheating on you. And that's also always like a comeback for, you know, unmarried people. You're busy bragging about that husband of yours. He's probably cheating on you. Like, not every man cheats. Not everyone cheats. Like, not everybody who's in a marriage is miserable. And people like putting that narrative out there because it helps them feel better about their sad situations. And we peep that. Us, as happily married people, peep that. And we're just like, shame. People are so unhappy, people are so sad, people are so miserable, so bitter, and like it's so unfortunate that they have to take it out on us, especially the women, as if we're the ones who said men shouldn't marry them, men shouldn't make them baby mamas and lifetime partners and long-term girlfriends. Like, it's so sad. I mean, I'm tired. Honestly, I am so tired of considering other people's feelings and their shortcomings and their misfortunes. Like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm sorry things aren't working out in your favor, but they will one day. Maybe if your heart is pure and if you put the work in and you actually search deep within your soul and fix the things that need to be fixed. Because if you feel some type of way about someone who's happy, who's married, who's successful, whatever it is, someone who has something that you don't have, then the issue is with you. And that's probably why you don't have all those good things that you're envious of, because you're sick, you have issues, and you need to work on them. Chances are, once you've worked on those things, your blessings will start flowing and you'll attract all the things that you desire. But chances are you might not. Because karma, you've been mean, you've been vile, you've been evil towards people who didn't even deserve that. So karma might just decide, hey man, you don't deserve this shit. Like, yeah, you've worked on yourself. You're a good person now. You've established, this is the route you need to take in order to attract your blessings. But quite frankly, you're going to die single and miserable. And cats are going to lick your cat until you die, because you're not a good person. You weren't a good person initially, and you wronged people who didn't deserve to be wronged. And just in conclusion, summing up this Mihlali situation, sucks that happened to her. Hope it never happens again. Hope she deals with it accordingly. It would be nice if she were to open a case. But chances are she's still with Leroy because she wants to prove a point. I won. Regardless of whatever happens behind closed doors, I'm still the winner because I got to keep the man. And Mary Jane, the original Mary Jane, lost. Or she might break up with him, move on, and start dating other people, because she was dating other people. Allegedly! While she was with Leroy. Hence, that Merc, remember that Mercedes-Benz that she got from my soul. Yeah, allegedly she got that from my soul while she was busy with Leroy. And apparently, Leroy found out about it. One more. But that's another story for another day. And allegedly! So yeah, so she's probably going to entertain other Grootmans and blessers, and this is going to be her thing, because apparently it is her thing to go about seeking the bag and entertain married men, old ass married men, in order to secure the bag and maintain a certain lifestyle. But the things that come with that also need to be accepted by her. No matter what those things are, please don't play the victim. Those are just the consequences of your actions. I don't feel sorry for evil people. I don't feel sorry for people who violate other people and then who expect sympathy and compassion and understanding. I really don't. I don't have inhliziyo yokudlala, I mean. I really don't. And I'm not going to fake it simply because I'm a woman. I'm not for all women. I don't like stupid women. I don't like weak women. I don't like evil women. I don't like inconsiderate women. I don't like women who aren't for other women. I don't like women who are competitive and who compare themselves to other women. I don't like women who aren't good women. So I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I'm not going to support you simply because they moved you when you were busy doing other things that were evil to other people. It doesn't work that way. Moving right along. I have to be mentally ready, and I need a whole lot of money, then I'll have kids. Good for you. I hope you actually marry the mother of your children. Please don't create any more baby mamas. We have more than enough in our community. My king. It's crazy about women acting like men and men acting like women. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Women are acting like men, men are acting like women. Women are masculine, men are feminine. Men want to be chased nowadays. Men want to be sponsored, provided for nowadays. Women act like they're strong and independent. They don't need a man. They don't need this. They don't need that. Like, it's so strange. And they think it's cool, but it's actually dismantling, ruining our community. And I need abantu to buyela emasisweni, because this is happening in our community. Take note of how other communities are going about it. Like, my brew, I'll give you a perfect example. In Asia, the minute you say you're married, everyone is just like, oh, wow. And their perspective, their perception, and the manner in which they treat you completely changes. It's like they worship the ground you walk on. They respect you. You know, one of my students asked me, teacher, why do you have such a big diamond ring? And I was like, because I'm married, baby. She was like, what does that mean? I'm like, I'm a wife. And she's like, oh, wow, amazing. And literally her eyes were just like, like, ace mangaliso. And she was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. Even the way that she looked at me and treated me completely changed from that day on, because people value marriage. Other communities, other cultures, other races, brew. I'm so passionate about this topic because I'm seeing my community, my race, just crumble right in front of me, and it's making me sick to my stomach, because we can do better. Umhlaba owethu, brew. We can do better. The world is ours, but we're just ruining everything. We're ruining ourselves, our lives, the lives of future generations, and we're teaching even youngins, Wuti, it's okay to just faff around, have a hoe phase, be a baby mama. You'll get married when you're 50. What do you mean? Like, for me, one thing that really, really broke my heart and just crushed my core was when my niece said to me, and I remember this was on my wedding day. I'm busy getting ready and she was helping me with stuff. And she was like, wow, this is amazing. I've never seen this happen, especially like in our family or in our community. Like, you're getting married in your 20s and like you're so young. And I was like, what do you, like, you've never seen this happen? She was like, well, I've seen it happen on TV, and it seems like something that only happens in TV, like a fairy tale. But like, I've never seen anyone get married in their 20s, yabo? And get married, like, and be happily married so young. And I was just like, yikes, that's so sad. And she was like, yeah, and that's why I think I'll get married when I'm 40. And I was like, why would you think that? Why would you even expect that? That's not normal. And she was like, yeah, I just think that's how, because I've a lot of people get married when they're like super old and they already have children. And I was like, then if you get married in your 40s, when are you going to have your children? And she was like, I guess before that. And I was just like, what? She's just like, yeah, I guess I'll just be like everybody else and I'll have them before that, or maybe after I get married. I don't know. Maybe the children will come first, and if I'm lucky enough, someone will marry me in my 40s. And I'm just like, this is a child. Oh, I could weep right now. Let me get a cough out. I could literally weep right now. This is a child. She was like 10 at the time. 10, 9, I don't know, somewhere there. And already she was just like, it's a fairy tale for people like us who look like me and you to get married so young. You're like a unicorn. And I'll probably get married in my 40s if I'm lucky enough. And I was just like, fudge. That is so sad. And you'll see it even in the way that, like, our peers, like people my age, or even like, bro, people old enough to be like my aunts and moms and shit, like, will be like, sis Mazeti or sis Zanent. And I'm like, why the hell would you call me sis Zani or Aus Mazeti? Like, ew, why would you do that? I'm so young. And you come to realize that they associate marriage with old age, with like being super grown. So the minute you get married, it's like, surely umdala, because this is such a big thing. This is something that is so foreign, that never happens for us, especially as Black people. So umdala, because we only see it happen for like the much older generation. So, wow, okay. Like, even when they know that you're young, like you're their peer or they're even older than you, but like the manner in which they address you, the manner in which they look at you, they treat you completely changes simply because you're married. And yes, it's understandable because it's a big deal and you have like a whole new title and responsibility, but it's also very sad to think that our people associate marriage with old age. Like, that's just sad. Like, that's something you should do before anything else. Like, and people will make such a big deal out of like commitment and marriage, solidifying a relationship in a godly manner. But like, they'll pop babies out like it's nothing. And that's like a lifelong commitment. So it's like our priorities as a community are screwed up. We are a mess. We are a mess. Those people, yeah. That's crazy. The same thing here. Normally people get married in their 30s and 40s. It's rare that people get married early. Like, that's so sad. That's so sad. Like, they start with all the things that they should end with, you know, like the final stage, which is having children. But like, people pop out babies left, right, and center, and like marriage is just like, oh my gosh, that's a lot, that's huge, that's like, I'm not ready. And it's like, but like, you're 30 with 3 children. What do you mean you're not ready for marriage? Like you're done with life already. How are you not married? Like, why are you not married? First of all, why do you have children and you're not married? It just doesn't make sense. And until we flip our mentality, we change our mentality and we flip the script and we start understanding that we're starting with things we should be finishing off with, then I think, you know, things will start looking up for us. But njengamanje, we are in hell. Our community is confused. We have so many degenerates and so many people who are just who just don't have their shit together, and their priorities are in the wrong place, and they're in a rush to do things that they really shouldn't be in a rush for. Like, it's sad. But yeah, let's move on. Grayson, my King Grayson, I want to move on to the next topic. The next topic is this Chidimma case. Oh my gosh. Have you heard? Bari Chidimma is out there in Nigeria looking like a spiritual wife. But that's some funny shit, child. Because she's such a pretty girl. She's gorgeous. She's a pretty lady, but like the pictures and videos of her in Nigeria, my goodness, she looks like what she is. And I'm just gonna leave it there. Senior Grayson, I know exactly what it is. We are cursed. We are the seeds of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the Hebrews the Bible speaks of. Amen. Amen. Yeah. It's very, very sad. I really hope there's just one of me, but I need more people, more successful, young, married, happily married Black people to start talking about these things. And even those who aren't yet, but who have clear visions and who have their priorities straight, like Abo Sihle from TikTok. I want those people to keep talking. Don't shy away from such topics. I know they're sensitive. They are topics that make a lot of people uncomfortable and prompt a lot of people to come for us because they feel like we're trying to act better than them, and we actually are. So we need to make sure we influence them to do better as well. Yeah, well? Because our community. So yeah, Chidimma Onwe Vanessa Adechina. If you don't know about this, King Grayson, this is a lady who claims to have been born in South Africa. Her dad is Nigerian and her mom is Mozambican, but they moved to South Africa before she was born and they had her in South Africa. So Chidimma says she is South African, and so that is why she entered Miss South Africa, a pageant called Miss South Africa. But then we later found out that she really isn't South African because, like I said, her dad is Nigerian, her mom is Mozambican. And in one of her videos, she mentioned that she had been in Nigeria 20 years ago, meaning when she was 3, because she is allegedly 3 years old. Oh, she's allegedly 23 years old. I'm sorry. She's apparently 23 years old. So she says she went to Nigeria when she was a toddler, and she's back now, 20 years later, which came as a shock because initially everybody said she was born in South Africa and she had never been to Nigeria or Mozambique. But now, wapahluga, and she actually exposed that she's been in Nigeria. But chances are, when we look deep into this, chances are she was born in Nigeria and she left Nigeria when she was 3 and she moved to South Africa because she was in Nigeria 20 years ago when she was 3 years old. Is it because they went on vacation, Nabazali, to Nigeria? Or was she born in Nigeria and she left Nigeria at the age of 3? I guess we'll never know. Maybe we will, because people have been investigating her, and more and more investigations are underway, and we've been establishing that there's a lot of fraud that has been ongoing, yabo? So Chidimma's mom actually stole a South African woman's identity. As a result, that woman's children have not been able to get a valid South African ID document, identification document, and they haven't been able to go to school, get a driver's license, birth certificate, you name it. Everything you need in order to survive as a being, as a citizen in your home country, they do not have. And this woman has been struggling, her children have been struggling, simply because Chidimma Onwe Vanessa Adechina's mom stole this woman's identity and used it for her and her child's gain. So, it brings me to this, and I refuse to bite my tongue. I refuse to mince my words. I refuse to filter myself. Because as a nation, as South Africans, we are tired. Not only are we tired, we are sick and tired of constantly being labeled as xenophobic, Afrophobes. Apparently, we hate ourselves and we hate other people who look like us simply because we are tired of foreigners coming into our country illegally and participating in criminal activities that are violating, ruining our country. Our people are getting offed, unalived. Our people are getting raped. Our people are losing their identities, and they're living terrible, hard, difficult lives simply because foreigners are coming into our country, stealing the identities of our people, stealing our people, human trafficking. You get me? Raping, offing our people, sacrificing our people, ritualistic sacrifices where our people end up getting offed, their luck is taken, and we are so sick and tired of illegal foreigners coming into our country and simply taking, stripping our women, our children, our men of their dignity, and ruining our country in every way you could possibly think of. And when we stand up for ourselves and fight for our country, we are said to be xenophobic Afrophobes. And it really, I'm so mad. I even have a headache. It broke my heart. It pissed me off. It disappointed me when someone as huge, as impressive, the Impressive Channel, someone with such an enormous platform, the Impressive Channel, came onto YouTube with over 1 million subscribers, and I don't know how many millions of followers combined, came on YouTube and spoke about the Chidimma saga and spoke about how xenophobic and Afrophobic South Africans are for simply pointing out that a non-South African cannot participate in a South African pageant. There's no way. Where has that ever been done? Where? Why should we allow that? Why should our country be a banana republic? Why should people get to do anything and everything they want to do in our country and constantly get away with it? And the minute we say, no, enough is enough, we start speaking up and speaking out against illegal immigrants, criminal activities. We're the ones in the wrong. We're the ones who are xenophobic Afrophobes because we're overlooking the Chinese, whites, Indians who are legally in South Africa. What should we do? We have no beef against people who are in our country legally, working legally, doing what's right, following the rules, regulation, our constitution, respecting our South African constitution. We're not fighting those people. Why? Why should we fight those people? Simply because they are of a different race? Why? You get me? So that really, really upsets me that people as big, huge bloggers, YouTubers, influencers, celebrities are busy spreading misinformation, propaganda. Clearly, there is an agenda against South Africa. And I get it. It's not right, but I get it because South Africa is the cream of the crop. It's the best country in Africa. It truly is. Everybody knows that, including Nigerians, and that's why they constantly compete with us. That's why they constantly compare themselves with us because we are the bar. And if they don't get to at least this level of the bar, then they know, they're non-existent. So in order for them to be relevant and to be recognized across the globe and even by just a few people in the world, they need to keep South Africans and South Africa in their mouths. It's so boring, it's so annoying, it's so absurd that even when media outlets report on this, they leave out conveniently. They leave out the fact that Chidimma is not South African. Chidimma is an illegal immigrant, and so are her parents, her mom and dad. And they stole a South African woman's identity. Not only that, they've been wreaking havoc by ensuring that the children of this woman don't have a life. They don't have lives. They're not making any progress because of the crimes that were committed by Chidimma's parents. We speak up against that. We highlight that fact, that legal fact. But every single time, people conveniently forget that. They leave that out. They deliberately leave that fact or those facts out of media reports and YouTube videos. I don't get it. We want Africa to unite. We want Africa to be one big thing, brothers and sisters. And that's how we see our fellow Africans. But when they wrong us, when they come into our country to simply ruin it, King Grayson and everybody else, that's not okay. That's not okay. And I don't understand why everybody else is okay with people ill-treating us, violating us, killing us, abusing us in our own country. Why is it a thing that people violate us and do us wrong, but then when we stand up for ourselves and our rights and our country, we're the ones in the wrong? Like, it makes absolutely no sense, and everybody else is a victim. You'll see Nigerians all over the world, in America, in the UK, anywhere and everywhere, even in Nigeria. Now they have a voice all of a sudden because South Africa is saying enough is enough. We're tired of the crime. We're tired of people coming into our country illegally, riding freaking crocodiles, and illegally crossing our border and coming into our country, engaging in criminal activities that are ruining our country. All of a sudden, South Africans hate us. They're so jealous of us. Jealous of what? Why would a South African be jealous of a Nigerian? Like, why? Why? And this is not to bash Nigeria or Nigerians, but like, that country is underdeveloped. People shit on freaking the ground. Like, the hall that Chidimma and them are modeling, Guilona, like, it's a mess. It's a mess. Compare that with the pageant that we had, our Miss South Africa. And you'll realize that, like, we're on two different levels. Super different levels. And I don't want to compare, but it's a fact. It's a fact. South Africa is the best country in Africa. It's the cream of the crop. It's the richest. It's the most beautiful. It's the most developed. But you're constantly competing with us. And we're not trying to compete with you. You're welcome in our country. But do things the right way. And me, Nina, as someone who's well-traveled, someone who works overseas, I know for a fact that I can't just come in. First of all, like ningena ezweni elihlukile without ama documents abalekile akufanele ukuthi ungene ngawo. How do you not have the proper documentation that allows you to enter a country? But you think you have the right to say we are xenophobic Afrophobes and we're in the wrong. We're bullies. We're mean. We're jealous. We hate other Africans. How? When you're in our country illegally. Secondly, you don't follow the rules. You don't respect our constitution. You break laws left, right, and center. Yes, King Grayson. King Grayson is laughing his butt off, but they literally ride on crocodiles, bro. Ride on crocodiles to get to our country. And we're jealous of them? How? Why are you coming to our country if we are slaves? And we worship our masters, because they always say that we worship white people and all these other races who have colonized us and who hate us, and we are slaves in our own country. Why are you there? And why are you working for these masters if you're not slaves yourselves? Like, why? Since South Africa is such a bad country with evil people who are so jealous of you and who hate you and who hate themselves and everything that reflects them, why do you come to our country then? You know the truth, because it's a beautiful country. It's the best country in Africa. It's the cream of the crop. We have so much to offer. But the problem is, even though you guys are welcome in our country, you get there illegally and you ruin it so that it ends up looking like your country. And that's, like, we're not going to put up with that. Enough is enough. You've done enough. You've done enough. You've offed so much of the population. Your population, Nigerians, we have a lot more Nigerians in South Africa than South Africans. Where they do that at? Where have you ever seen such nonsense? Yes, you need to come, King Grayson. You need to come. They have big, beautiful beaches, amazing wildlife, beautiful, beautiful buildings, houses, sites, scenery, everything. It's stunning. And it used to be safe until these illegal immigrants came to our country. Tell me why we wouldn't speak up against that. When, King Grayson, would you not speak up against that? Excuse me, if people came into your house and they started shitting on the floor and they started raping your wife and your children and they started slaughtering your family and they started breaking all the rules, the laws and regulations in your house, would you not stand up against that? Would that not piss you off? Would you not want better for your country, for your house? So why is it a thing that when we are saying, no, this is wrong, and we highlight exactly why it's wrong, and there are legal facts to justify and substantiate our arguments, still people overlook that deliberately just to make us seem like we're angry and bitter and jealous and hateful and xenophobic and Afrophobic and all that nonsense. Deep down, you as Nigerians, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know you're the ones who are jealous of us and envious of us. That's why every single time you claim our things, our culture, our people, our music. Like, all you're known for is Afro beats. I can count people from Nigeria who are superstars with one hand. You can't count, you can't tell me, Uguti, you don't know a South African artist because you look up to them. You aspire to be like them. You envy them. You're jealous of them. We have countless South African artists in South Africa and outside of South Africa doing the most, making a name for themselves and flying the South African flag high. And then you go and you claim them and you say they're Nigerian. And then they make dope-ass music and you say, it sucks. And then they make Amapiano and you say Amapiano are yours. That time you're taking our original Amapiano tracks and remixing them and making them sound like garbage. And then you say, you originated Amapiano. You are the originators of Amapiano. Like, it's so strange. Like, there's so much hatred. There's so much anger, so much misery. Like, my goodness. And this is not a bashing session. I'm just stating facts. Nigerians ruin things for us. Not only us as South Africans, but as black folk all over the world. Because outside of Africa, when you are black, you are Nigerian. Because they leave their country. They leave their crusty country and they go and infest. They go and they ruin other countries. Not just South Africa. It's happening everywhere. Nobody wants them. America's getting rid of them. The UK is getting rid of them. Everybody's getting rid of them. And this is another thing that actually bothers me. Like, every country's getting rid of Nigerians. They're even telling them they're going to pay them to leave their countries. The government is like, bro, we will pay you. Go back home. We are sick and tired of you. But South Africa's the only country that's been spoken about. So because we are an African country, we should take any nonsense from other Africans? You're literally the rotten potatoes, the rotten eggs, the rotten fruit of the Africans. You're misrepresenting us. Other countries don't want us because they think we're Nigerians and we're going to wreak havoc. We're going to wreak havoc in their countries. Illegal documentations. Like illegal papers, bro, to go to other countries, and you always claim to be South African. And we're the ones who are jealous and envious of you. You have illegal docs that claim that you are South African, and then you go to other countries and you commit crimes. Heinous crimes. And it comes back to bite us in the ass, and they say they don't want South Africans anymore. Simply because a Nigerian or a bunch of Nigerians acted as hooligans and they used our identity. You ruin everything for us. Nobody has time for you. Nobody's jealous of you. Go back home. Go home. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying because you're so used to doing illegal things and getting away with it. We're just supposed to keep quiet and let this ride. We were not going to let this thing keep going on. It had to start somewhere, and it's unfortunate that it comes across as though Chidimma was bullied or whatever. She wasn't bullied. She's a criminal. She's fully aware of the crimes of her parents as well as her crimes, because allegedly, she's not even 23, she's 32. With 2 children above the age of 8. And she's been married and divorced twice. That's a grown woman. She's not 23. She's a fraudster. She has children and she's been married and divorced. She does not stand for or represent anything that has to do with Miss South Africa. She does not meet the criteria. Just on those Facts, based on those facts. And then the fact that she's not even South African adds usawoti. And we're not just going to keep putting up with illegal immigrants just wreaking havoc in our country. And keeping quiet for the sake of, oh, if we stand up for ourselves and we fight for our country, they're going to say we're xenophobes. I don't care. We don't care. You've done enough. You've ruined our country enough. Enough is enough. If it means we're going to be xenophobes and we're going to be Afrophobes and we're going to be hateful and jealous, and so be it. Those are just words. It's action time. It's time for you to know who you are, to know your place, and to go home. Because all you do is mess things up for us and everybody else in the world. Like, it's like there's some sort of gene within Nigerians that just makes them so, just like they itch to ruin things, to engage in crimes and just be weird and mean. Like, these people are gatekeeping their cultural attire. After seeing a couple of women wearing Nigerian, I don't know whether it's Igbo or Yoruba, whatever, attire, they're just like, this is our cultural attire. You're not allowed to wear this. We're gatekeeping it. They're gatekeeping freaking clothes. They feel, and they do, they have the right to stand up against people who are appropriating their culture. But when we stand up, not just for our culture, but for our country, when they do illegal things, it's a problem. But when they have an issue with people who aren't even committing crimes, but who are just wearing their clothes, and they should be heard, and their views should be respected. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, these people need to grow up. You need to grow up, bro. Like, there's a problem with you. No country wants you. Do some self-introspection. There's a deep, deep problem with you. And stop competing and comparing yourself to South Africans. You'll never be us. You'll never be us. We don't even know your president. You don't even know your president. It's a mess. It's a shit show out there. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking they can wrong others and then play the victim card. Like, I've seen this happen over and over again, and I'm realizing that it's a thing. Like, it's a thing in society. It's a thing, especially within our community. And it's like, it's disgusting. It's disappointing. Like, take accountability for your actions and do better. I really hope, yes, we need to vote for Umiskwara. We need to vote for Miskwara because, well, Burna Boy, those motherfuckers who wait for us to release music and then they take it and they remix it and they make it their own. Again, thriving off the backs and the hard work of South Africans. Have the audacity to say, we were busy bullying Chidimma for being an illegal immigrant and a criminal together with her parents and her family after they were busy rubbing the fact that she made it to the top 16, Chidimma, in our faces, with her Nigerian family, rubbing it in our South African faces. After we said, but this is wrong. This shouldn't fly because she's not South African, her family's not South African. She shouldn't partake and participate in something that is of South African origin and that celebrates South Africans. Not only that, she doesn't meet the criteria because she's not even 23. She has children and she's been married and divorced. There's so many reasons she's not qualified to partake in our Miss South Africa beauty pageant. But they had to make it about xenophobia and Afrophobia. And then they go and they rub it in our faces and they make it seem like, we got you. She's gonna win this and she's not backing down. Even after investigations were conducted and it was established that they're in our country illegally and they're partaking in criminal activities engaging in criminal activities. And they were just like, we'll see about that. She doesn't qualify for Miss South Africa. She's not South African. Ha ha ha. We'll see about that. Rizeni, we are inside and we're going to show you. And they were smirking. But because we stood our ground, don't let anybody silence you, especially when you know that you are speaking the truth. Do not let anybody silence you, no matter what they call you, no matter how they choose to punish you. Don't let them. Don't let them instill fear in your heart. Stand tall, speak up, speak out, fight for what you know is right and what is actually right. Because had we not pushed and said, we don't care what you say. You can spread misinformation. You can collaborate with other countries. You can call us every word in the book, Afrophobes, xenophobes, hateful, jealous, whatever. Slaves in our own country. But this is wrong. And she needs to exit the pageant because she does not represent South Africa. Had we cowered, had we been so worried about what the world, Nigerians, my goodness, and the rest of the world thinks of us, we were going to be defeated in our own country. We were going to be defeated. Do you get me? Like, we were going to be silenced for fighting for what's right. Do you understand that? So I'm glad South Africans soldiered on and fought for what's right. And I pray, and I know we have our flaws, we have our faults, my bro, and there are so many things, and I'm not even going to talk about them right now. I want us to focus on what we're talking about. Njengamanje. We have our flaws as South Africans. Sometimes we bash our own, and we envy them, especially our own who are in other countries, who are working, living abroad, and who are doing the most. We envy them, we're jealous of them, and we speak ill of them, and we want negative things to happen to them while they are abroad. Whenever something happens to people who are working and living abroad, you hear such things, and you know it comes from a place of jealousy. But we also understand that it's tough. Njengamanje kai. It's tough. The economy, gobi, unemployment rate, we understand. But it doesn't make it okay. And I hope our people can do better in that regard. But I am so proud, and I don't want to not say this. I am so proud of my fellow South Africans for sticking together and fighting for what's right. Hello, Boo Gang 2.0. Hi from Cali. Love you lots. Listen, I am so proud of us for sticking together and doing what's right, fighting for what's right, fighting for our country, our nationality, etc., etc. We were like, we're going to put our differences aside. We're going to put ubuthakathi bethu aside, umona wethu aside, esinawo for each other, and sizoqonda ngqo. Sibabheke enhlambini zamehlo sibaqonde ngqo. California in the building! Bo, 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 bo. Oh man, I see you guys. Hello? Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. United we stand, divided we fall. The minute people, oppressors, opponents, enemies see ukuthi we are against each other, we're constantly fighting against each other, we don't love one another, we're jealous of each other, and that's the way abazoyisebenzisa. That's the tool they will use to tear us apart. Divide and conquer. So we should not allow them. Let's keep it up. Bangasijwayeli gabi. Nezinye izizwe namanye ama-countries azi kahle ukuthi asingene kuthina. Asenziwa nje kanjalo. You get me? Excuse me. Hello, my baby. So yeah. Anywho, to just wrap this up. Oh, Boo Gang and Ken Grayson and everybody else who's on here, please make sure you hit the like button, okay? Also, there's a giveaway today. I am currently on an island. My hubby and I are island hopping. And in order to win 500 rands, you need to tell me where on earth I am. Where on this beautiful planet of ours I currently am. Excuse me. Now, the clue that I've given you is that I am on an island. You need to tell me which one, and you will win the giveaway. Let's go. So, yeah. To wrap this up, because I think I've spoken my piece, I've spoken about Musa, I've spoken about Mihlali, I've spoken about the Chidimma saga. I really think it absolutely sucks that the perpetrators, the wrongdoers, the abusers, the violators, the oppressors, whoever who's in the wrong gets to, or thinks that they get to dictate. Yabo? Whoever's in the wrong thinks that they get to dictate how the victim can react or respond to the wrong action or the wrongdoing. And I've seen this even with my life experience, the stories that I've shared of people violating me within my family and even my friends, some of my former friends. And I saw the backlash that I got, or the punishment that I got after speaking up and speaking out against just evil things that shouldn't be happening, that people who love one another and who are rooting for each other and who care for each other shouldn't be doing to each other, you know? And go check my story times, go check them out, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I was particularly focusing on family matters and the vile, disgusting, evil, unforgivable things that have been done to my mom and I. And because the perpetrators of these actions and this abuse have become so used to my mom and I being silent, being pleasant, being cordial, being respectful, loving, supportive, caring, regardless of whatever it is they do to us. Regardless. And forgiving, by the way, which is the main point here. We've been absolutely forgiving. We've forgiven things that are unforgivable. And for the fact that I spoke up against that, and I was like, I'm sick and tired of this, because I saw that it would never change. I knew for a fact that it would never, ever change had I not spoken up against it and about it. Because my mom is a peacemaker. She's a peace seeker. She's very peaceful. She believes silence is golden. God will fight your battles and everything will work out in the way that it should work out. And karma will come knocking on the doors of the people who wronged you, and you shouldn't have to fight for yourself. And I'm against that. I'm against that teaching. I'm against that belief. I'm against that approach. It doesn't work, because when you're silent, they will kill you and they will say you enjoyed it. Anytime someone wrongs you and you're silent about it, you're basically saying it's okay, continue. And I was tired of being pretentious, because more than anything, that is avoidant and pretentious. You know, deep down, you are suffering, but you'd rather suffer in silence for peace sake. Whose peace? The peace of the perpetrators? Why? Why would you do that to yourself? That is self-sabotage. That's you not loving yourself. God gave you a mind, hands, everything, a mouth for you to fight for yourself, to think, this is wrong. This is hurting me. I have a mouth, I should speak up. And if it means I need to get my gloves off and fight dirty, let's go. But also, you're not fighting dirty when you're fighting for yourself, and you're fighting for what's right. And you're fighting for your own peace, especially when abantu bekuhlokolozile bafuna ukuyistripha away ipeace yakho. But the minute I spoke up against what was wrong and what's been happening and what continues to happen, because I highlighted the fact that I can't really be on people's asses for things that they did when they were still children, and they were still finding themselves. They didn't even know who they were, and they still had people in their ears feeding them poison and influencing them negatively. That I can forgive. I can forgive things that we've spoken about as grown people, that we've spoken about and we've ironed out, and that people have taken accountability for and apologized for, and things that have actually changed. Yabo? I can forgive. Because when you apologize to me, I only see sincerity when I see your actions change for the better and you doing right by me. That I can forgive and I can actually move on from that. But if you continuously do things that hurt me, and you are fully aware of the fact that these things are wrong and they are hurtful, but you claim to love me, yet you keep doing them. And then when I decide I've given these people ample opportunities, I've forgiven things that they weren't even sorry for, that they've never apologized for, and I made excuses for them. I attributed their evil deeds and foul actions to youth, being a child, not knowing any better. I attributed such things to their traumas, the loss that they've suffered, that probably influenced negative behavior. You get me? I constantly made excuses for people who knew exactly what they were doing. But as grown people, when you keep doing things that are painful and hurtful and you just keep harassing and traumatizing people, that's not okay. And ultimately, because we are human, you're hurting a human being, they will snap. Enough will be enough. And if me coming to my platform, which serves as my therapy office, where I know, Wuti, this for me is a therapy session. And I'm like, okay, let me get a whole lot of things off my chest. Even if it means not mentioning the names of these people, but the people who are guilty of these crimes will know who I'm talking about. And then they come to you and they think they have the right, after everything that they've done, after all the unforgivable, evil things that they have done to you and your mom, and they think they have the right to be angry at you. They think they have the right to invalidate and diminish your traumas and your negative experiences brought on by them. Now, I'm not talking about the past. I'm not talking about my childhood traumas solely, but I'm talking about things that are ongoing, currently ongoing, that are being done by my loved ones who are supposed to be my ride or dies. And I'm just like, I've given you so many chances. We've spoken about these things and you promised to rectify them. So now, what's the issue? What's the issue? Why is it that every single time I need to come up to you, I need to be the one to confront issues? I need to be like, oh my, you've done this again. You know it hurts me. Please stop doing it. Oh, you've done this. Please stop doing it. Why should I have to keep doing that? You never learn. You never consider me. You don't take me seriously. You don't take my feelings seriously. So, okay, let me go to my platform, Umsamwami, my therapy office, and let me speak about the things that hurt me, that people keep doing to me, and then they come to me and claim that they love me. You get me? And when I do that, people have the audacity, oh my bro, I shit you not, Grayson. Like, they have the audacity to come up to me and be like, you're out there talking about us on public platforms. First of all, I didn't mention your name. So how do you know I'm talking about you? Because you're guilty. Secondly, what makes you think you can post hurtful, spiteful, shady things about my mom and I on your public platforms, your social media platforms, and I should just be quiet? And it's a thing, it's a problem, it's an issue when I go to one of my public platforms and I speak about the things that you're doing that are wrong and that are hurting me and that are traumatizing me and that are contributing to me feeling like I need to off myself in order to eliminate this pain once and for all, because this is an ongoing thing and it'll never stop. All you care about is being spoken about on a public platform and not the fact that you're hurting your loved one. And you have the audacity to tell me you have bigger fish to fry. You have your own traumas, your own issues, your own problems, and you name them as if I didn't name the things that you've been doing to me that are hurting me. Why are you now telling me about your problems now that I'm bringing up things that you're doing wrong? Why didn't you tell me about this when all was well between us? It's because you're trying to shut me up and invalidate my experiences, my problems, so that I listen to your cries and your pleas and your issues. And they have nothing to do with me. They weren't brought on by me. So why are you telling me about them? I'm telling you about the things that you do to me that hurt me. And then you tell me you have your own problems to face. And you get depressed and you feel like offing yourself. Well, I get depressed and I feel like offing myself. And it's not because of problems that have nothing to do with you. It's because of things that you do to me. And then you tell me I should focus on my perfect life and my amazing husband and my supportive in-laws and everything that's so gold and glittery in my life. As if you're not a problem in my life. Ngikuzibe wena and ignore the fact that uyangihlukumeza. Why? You get me? And then umuntu has the audacity to say, I don't understand your feelings. After you've written an entire dissertation stating everything, not only the things that they've done, and after having highlighted that you've forgiven them for the things that they've done, even the ones that they apologize for, including the ones that they apologize for, and you've forgiven those things, but there are things that are currently happening that are hurting you. And they tell you they don't understand your feelings, and they see it best to distance themselves from you. This is what perpetrators do, because they thrive when you're quiet. They know that if you keep quiet and you don't confront them, you don't expose them, they can keep hurting you. But the minute you have a voice, it's, oh my goodness, how dare you? And they said they don't understand my feelings and they choose to distance themselves from me. And they completely ignored every single cry of mine, every plea, every issue that I brought up. And I was like, I don't understand why you keep doing this to me. I don't understand why you keep hurting me in this way. Surely there's some sort of animosity, and I need you to look deep within yourself, do some self-introspection and figure out what it is about me that makes you treat me the way that you treat me. If you want to have some sort of relationship with me, please figure that out. Fix it, because I love you and I'd love to have a relationship with you, but not if you keep hurting me like this. And they said, I'd rather focus on my own issues. I don't understand your feelings. I want to distance myself from you. And they decided to exclude me. Okay? They decided to exclude me from viewing their stories on WhatsApp, so that I wouldn't know what's happening, what they're posting, what they're saying about my mom and I. Little did they know. And I keep telling people, like, you guys tend to underestimate my intelligence and my gifts, because I hear conversations even when I'm not present in the room. I hear the conversations that are had about me. And I don't need anyone to come back to me and tell me, yo, so-and-so was saying this. I hear those conversations. That's how gifted I am. I find out about things that you think I'll never be able to find out about. That's my third eye. That's how powerful and activated my third eye is. And people think they can play in my face and run game on me. And then I find out that, oh, you've been excluded from viewing this person's stories. And they're busy going in, lying. And that's another thing that perpetrators do. They make up lies to make themselves come across as victims and to make you look like the villain in the story, when they're the ones that got the big push, and it's like, I said people need to get over losing parents. I've never said that. I would never say something like that. I know you grieve until you die once you lose a parent. I know this. So I'd never do that. I'd never say that about a person. I just said, stop using that as an excuse to ill-treat other human beings. I don't do that. I've lost a parent, but I don't do that. So why do you think it's okay to do that? And they twisted it. They deliberately chose to misinterpret that statement and twist it and say, I said people are busy weeping and just annoying us and telling us about their dead parents when they should just get over it. Who speaks like that? Obviously, that could never come from me. That comes from you because you're evil and you think like that. And then people who know that I'm not that type of person came up to me and they're like, dude, I'm seeing things and people are just going in on you, saying things that you never said. Like, I feel like people think we don't watch your YouTube videos when we actually do. There's proof that you didn't say that. And you were just pointing out the manner in which that sensitive topic is weaponized and used to abuse you and your mom and used to justify poor behavior. You would never say something so cruel and insensitive, but they're making it seem like you just out of nowhere just said people are a-holes and they're ungrateful and they're unappreciative and they ill-treat my mom and I and they keep yapping and weeping about losing parents and they should get over that shit. Like, you deliberately chose to sum that up into something that it's not. And you overlooked everything else, every other valid point that was made in those videos, highlighting how evil, ungrateful, cruel, unappreciative you are. So that you could change the narrative. So you could change the narrative and make me come across as the crazy one and act all confused like it came out of nowhere. You guys have been doing foul things for the longest of times, even most recently. But because you're so used to doing them and not suffering the consequences, they've become normal in your heads. They've become normal, they become normal in your heads. Ooh, that's the coconut water. It's doing the damn thing, excuse me. They become normal in your heads. But they're not normal. And I'm highlighting the fact, and you'll never see that. You would have never seen how crazy that shit was. All the crap that you were doing to my mom and I, you would have never seen how deep and evil and foul and crazy it was had I not published those videos. Because we've had sit-downs, but nothing changed, my brew. Or things would change for a while, and then it would go back to square one. Or a new thing would come up. A new tactic, a new approach to disrespect us would come up. And I can't... Yo, getting so emo. But y'all, let me get a cough out quickly. I can't keep educating grown-ass people about treating me and my mom properly. This is mouth-watering, actually. Like, you get used to it. Look at me. I'm even drooling a tad. You get used to it and you start enjoying it. I can't educate grown-ups about how to treat people, right? Especially people that they claim to love. Like, it's not fair. And then uyabona futhi ukuthi kuhlanganiwe. Like, people got together. The other one decided, and if you know me, you know. And as a Leo, if you're a Leo, it's a thing. And the people closest to you know this. Like, your birthday is the most important day in the world, of your life, of everybody else's life. You get me? And me, as someone who doesn't ask anyone for anything, all I ever ask my folks, celebrate me on my birthday. That's it. And even if you just say happy birthday, or you post a picture of me, or whatever, just acknowledge my birthday. That's it. That's the most meaningful thing you could ever do for me. I don't ask for shit else. So the other one decided I'm not going to wish her a happy birthday. And they know once someone does that, it's a wrap. I cut someone who does that off. I cut you off once you disregard my birthday. You get me? So the other one decided, okay, she wants to expose us for being cruel and evil and abusive towards her and her mom. I'll make sure I cut ties. And she decided not to wish me a happy birthday at all. The other one decided to do it on a public platform where obviously I couldn't ignore you because I'd look like the villain that you're trying to make me look like. But you have my number and you didn't wish me a happy birthday via my number. I see these things. These are tactics. I know you guys. The other one decided to unfollow me on Instagram. And they probably think I don't know. They decided to unfollow me on Instagram, completely ignored everything I had spoken about, all my cries, my pleas, my everything. The whole dissertation that I wrote explaining Wuti, I've gotten to this point because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, completely ignored me. Wished me a happy birthday, moved on. Like I had never said anything. Nothing Susie Lynch. On my birthday, wished me a happy birthday, but I noticed that on Instagram they unfollowed me. So for me, it just made it crystal clear. Like, yo, clarity is clear to see, my bae. It made it crystal clear that people just want to get away with murder. People want to do whatever it is they want to do to you, and they want you to suffer in silence. And they want you to just keep letting them do whatever. And the minute you call them out for wronging you, they feel that they have the right to be angry. They feel they have the right to play the victim. They feel they have the right to collaborate and combine forces and be like, Australia, Lona, as villains, poor man again, I see distance from Yena, in distance even in Gan. Go we as expose. Go we se hlagan pilu was we kulumel we. They feel that they need to punish you for confronting and addressing their wrongdoings. Is that not a cult? I do not want to be a cult member. I do not want to be a cult member. The minute you get punished, ostracized, whatever, when you stand up for yourself, when you use your voice and you speak up and you fight against what's wrong, you are part of a cult. That is not a family. And I do not want to be a part of that. And if you think that you can cut me off for pointing out the things that you do that are wrong and that are hurtful and that are traumatizing me and that are killing me, and you think it's okay to cut me off after I have forgiven you for years and years and years for things that are unforgivable that you have done and for things that you continue to do today. And the minute, the one time that I say, how, kwanele nikhohlakele kanti yini zinukena amakhwapha nilungise, and you think the right way to go about it is to cut me off, it tells me everything I need to know. Ankaze ningithande. You've never loved me. And that's the one thing I've always just wanted to find out, because I'm so tired of being surrounded by people who don't even fuck with me like that. All I've ever wanted was clarity. I've always just wanted to know where people stood when it comes to me. Uyangithanda, do you want to be a part of my life? If so, I don't even have to tell you what to do. You do right by me, the same way I do right by you. But like Lindo Yokshay Gaga, 1 minute you're good to me, 1 minute you're evil, 1 minute you're not talking to me, and I don't even know why. Askaz is tabane, but you're weird. There's office vibes, there's gunama oaks, tingamajiggies. Like, it's weird. It's just weird. For absolutely no reason. There's a whole lot of animosity, but mina, I'm good with you and angazangilwe nawe, but when I'm weird. And then the next, you angtanda and you're checking in on me consistently. And the next thing, you do something like mind-blowing where I'm just like, but why would you do that to someone you love? And then you flip the script and you make it seem like I'm the one who's wrong and you're confused by my reaction or my retaliation. You don't get to wrong people and then tell them how to react and respond to your disrespect and your hurtful behavior. You don't get to do that. And if your ego is too big for you to take accountability and start doing right by the people that you claim to love, you'd rather cut them off, you'd rather unfollow them, exclude them from viewing your statuses, distance yourself from them and focus and be self-absorbed and selfish and just focus on your own issues instead of righting your wrongs. It says a lot about you. It speaks volumes about your character. And I don't want bad people in my life. I don't want evil people in my life. If you think you've been treating me fairly, And if you think that all the shit that you've said and done to me and my mom is okay, and your action of cutting me off and following me, distancing yourself from me is the right one, you're exactly what I don't need in my life. And you did me a huge favor. You did me a huge favor. Because the one thing that kept me held onto these relationships was not knowing where we stood. Because one minute it would be good, one minute it would be bad. We'd have each other's backs, the next minute I'm single-handedly like carrying everybody. You get me? It's getting super dark here. Shoo shoo! Shoo shoo! You get me? So, hey, yo, abantu guys. And I say all this to say, thank you, my love. I say all this to say, perpetrators, wrongdoers, abusers, all the people who wrong others, they absolutely love playing the victim and making the abused or the victims come across as evil, crazy, just weirdos who just are sucking issues out of their butts. Nobody just gets frustrated and upset and starts speaking up against things that hurt them out of the blue. Surely you did something. Okay, let me get back to my comments. I know you'll need some guns. They're riding on crocodiles. I know they got machetes and shit. I've been trying to think of how you could ride on a crocodile. Baby, they be riding on them crocodiles. I kid you not, okay? They're not even fearful of crocodiles. And see, now we see crocodiles and we're like, we run for our lives. When they ride on crocodiles, how could we be jealous of those people? How could we be jealous of those people? Tell me. I just swiped through the ones in some girls. I know they were Nigerians, and I asked them, do they ride on crocodiles? And they blocked me. Kid Grayson, you are petty. You are messy boots, okay? You are messy boots. What am I talking about? Excuse me, let me get a cough out, guys. I have a cold. Oh. Yikes. I've been on here. I'm going to wrap this up really soon. Najwa is asking me what I'm talking about. Firstly, I'm on an island. I'm on vacation with my hubby and I'm on an island. Today we have a giveaway, a 500 rands giveaway. If you can guess where I am, which island I'm currently on, you will win 500 rands. I'm talking about a whole lot of things. Musa Khawula, I'm talking about Mihlali. I'm talking about this Chidimma issue. Excuse me. And I'm talking about this whole South Africa versus Nigeria thing, which is so annoying because we don't have issues with Nigerians. I speak for all South Africans when I say we don't have issues with Nigerians. We love everybody from Africa, everybody all over the world, really. We just want everybody to do what's right by us, follow our rules, our regulations, our laws, respect our country, and do things properly. And if you are an illegal immigrant and if you are engaging in criminal activities, you're not welcome. And it's not okay to keep doing that to South Africans and to ruin the country of South Africa and expect us to just keep taking it. That is the gist of this live. And I'm talking about the backlash that South Africans have been getting, and we've been labeled as Afrophobic and transphobic simply because we're done. We're tired of people walking all over us and ruining our country. And we're standing up against that. We're standing up for ourselves and we want to rebuild our country. You get me? And it sucks that when you fight for yourself and you stand up for yourself, you are seen as evil. You're seen as crazy and people label you and they call you all these ugly names in the book simply because you're fighting for what's right. So I linked that and I related it to my own experiences where I was talking about my family members continuously wronging my mom and I and just expecting us to suffer in silence. And the one time I was just like, enough is enough. I'm going to speak up against these things because they are continuing. I'd forgive things if they were done in the past and we spoke about them and people apologized and they meant their apologies, and they change their actions for the better, but they keep just doing nonsense, and I'm tired of that. I'm not a doormat, I'm not a pushover, and I just really needed clarity. I needed to know where I stood with the people that I loved so much my entire life, and them cutting me off, distancing themselves from me, unfollowing me, and the manner in which they responded and reacted to me, retaliating and responding to their disrespect and disregard and their ungrateful, actions, showed me exactly where I stand with them and where I've always stood with them, which is something that I've always just wanted to know, because they've just been very wishy-washy. They've been blurred lines for the longest of times, and I never really knew where they stood. I never knew whether to trust them or not, but now I know exactly where we stand. So that's what we're talking about, Najwa. Leabona Bosman says, hey Zan, love your accent, by the way. Thank you, Leabona, my darling. I love you. Please do not forget to like the video so everybody knows that we are out here. It's any, we are within. I've been here for quite some time, so I'm going to wrap this up really, really soon. If you're just joining, please know we have a giveaway today, and I want you to guess which island my husband and I are currently on. I am sipping on coconut water, and I'm feeling rather gassy after sipping on this for almost over 2 hours now. My goodness, I'm feeling rather gassy. Hence, I let out a little burp earlier. And yeah, it's doing the things that it's supposed to do, and it has a whole lot of health benefits. That's why I'm just slurping away. Even though it doesn't taste that good, it tastes like freshly bathed ass. But yeah, we're out here. Listen, so now I want to wrap this up, and I just want to say, hey man, as I was saying, we're not beefing with Nigerians. We're not beefing with other Africans. We just want people to respect our country and to follow the rules and the laws the same way we do when we're outside of our country, and the same way we do when we visit their countries. Just do right by us and we'll do right by you, because I truly do want us to unite. We're brothers and sisters after all. And at the end of the day, no matter where you are in the world, if you're black, you're black. And other races just see you as an African, whether you want to be classified as one or not, whether you want to be classified as South African, Nigerian, Mozambican, Zimbabwean, whatever. They just see a black person and they don't care about your ethnicity, your nationality, whatever it is you believe in. You are black, and we need to stand together. We need not fight each other, and we need not recruit other countries, other races to hate on a particular country simply because they are fighting for what's right. If you're so used to criminal activities and breaking laws and being just degenerates and just rogue and raw and all of that, that's your thing. But keep that all the way there in Nigeria. We don't want any parts. We don't want to experience it. We don't want to celebrate it because it's not worthy of being celebrated. It's disgusting. And just stop ruining the black image. Stop ruining our country, our nation, the black image. Stop stealing our identities and pretending to be South African wherever you go. Like, I'll come across, even like when we travel, I'll come across other Nigerians and they'll approach us and they'll be like, oh, you look South African, or you look African. And we're like, yeah, we're from South Africa. And they'd be like, oh my, we're South African too. And we're like, where from? And they'd be like, Joburg or Durban or Pretoria or whatever. We'd be like, oh my God, really? Already hubby and I have clocked it. We're like, liars. We can tell from the accent. Even if we can't tell from the accent because they have a different accent, they've mastered some other accent, you can tell. We as Africans, and we know this, no shade, we know how they look. We know, like, you can tell a South African wherever you are in the world. You can go to Timbuktu. If you come across another South African, you'll know this person is South African. If you go to Germany and you come across a Nigerian, you'll know this is a Nigerian. We can spot each other regardless of where we are in the world. And from the minute we see each other, we're like, okay, I know where this person is from. And then when we engage in convo, and it's like, okay, you have a different accent, but I feel like I still know where you're from. And then they'll lie and they'll say they're from Pretoria, Joburg, Durban, Cape Town, whatever. And it's just like, oh, where exactly? And they don't even know what to say. Or they just randomly name just a weird, random, non-existent city. And the more you probe, the more you ask them questions, you realize, bro, you're Nigerian and you're pretending, you're cosplaying as South African, and you're out here illegally, you've entered this country illegally, you're engaging in criminal activities, but when you're apprehended as a South African, and it ruins it for each and every South African. So annoying. Enough is enough. And this constant thing of wanting South African girls as a trophy. And I hate how our sisters are selling our country. Yo, South African women are selling South Africa for just falling for these people who are just out to get us. Baze babazalele bra, babashade abanye noma bengabashadile babazalele. Awukwazi nakubo. Kodwa usunengane yakho obitokoko. Ingane yakhe embi. Yo nina niyasijwayela nina. Niyani nama standards nina. Nivuma ukulawulo indlala. Yileyo nto nje enginyanyisayo ngani. And that's why they don't respect us. Like, this one time, I was at a club, and this time I wasn't partying with my husband. I was partying with a friend. This Nigerian guy who'd been on my butt, even after I told him countless times, bro, I'm married. I'm not interested. He was on my butt, non-stop, my bro. And this one time, he just came up to me and he was like, one day, I'm going to get you. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by that? Time and time again, I've told you that I'm married. I told you that I'm married and I'm not interested in you. Even if I weren't married, I'm not interested in you. And he was like, you South African girls, we know we can conquer you. Like, what do you mean? It's because of you, Nina. Nina. Nisijwayeza nalezi ihlama lezi. Sebecansi sonke sifana nani-ke manje. Oh, Aliyabona Bosman says Indonesia, very close, but nope, I am not in Indonesia, baby. Try again, please. Guys, le giveaway izophela njalo, so keep trying. And I'm about to go off now. I need to focus on my hamster. I've been on here for quite some time. But yeah, like they disrespect us and they try to get into our pants and they think we're all easy and we're after imali ama sacrifices nama rituals and we're after amakhanda abapotshokiles sifuna ukubazaleli ingane ezimbi and we're after ufuna ukuya eLagos siyodunisa eLagos angifuna ukuya eLagos mina ngifisi nje ukuya eNigeria bandla ngiright. Ngingawuhamba wonke umhlaba kodwa ngiyiboni nje ngilapho. Angazi ngiyobe ngithi ngiyokwenzani. Hayi angazi bandla kuyobe ukuthi ngiphoqwe isimo ngendlela eyisimangaliso mhlawumbe umsebenzi noma khona umngane ethizeni uthi uthi sithi chope or my hobbies just like hayi khona into ethize tourist attraction engiyibona fascinating asambe kodwa nje mina personally angazi ngikhalile ukuya eNigeria. Angazi nje ukuthi kuthiwa sinomona ngeNigeria ngani kumapetu kanje. Hayibo kahleni. Yabona ngisho. So there's no South Africa versus Nigeria. We have nothing against you. Just do what's right. And we're not jealous of you. We're not envious of you. There's nothing to be jealous of. There's nothing to be envious of. You want to be us. You want our lives. You want to live in our country. You want your country to end up being like yours. And unfortunately, that'll never happen. So just respect other people. Respect other countries. Respect Nje. I know it's difficult because it's like a genetic thing. And I remember, just wrapping this up, story time. This other time, I went to go do my hair. This Nigerian lady who, at the time, we were in China. Hubby and I were in China. And this Nigerian lady does hair, right? And I wanted to braid my hair. And we typically braid our hair, Goma Africans, because like the Chinese or the other Asian folks aren't really good when it comes to our hair. And they struggle with the texture in your zethu. So we went there. We went to this lady's house, and because she does house calls, she can come to your place, you can go to hers, but she just had a child, so I was just like, no, I'm going to come to yours, but I'm going to come with my hubby because Angwazi, it's my first time there, and you also have a husband and children, and I want my husband to be there and to entertain me, yabo? So we go there. The first thing she does, this should actually be a story time. It should actually be, story time. Why am I giving away Itorizani on a live? That time I'm liking, you should like her. Excuse me. I'm getting so gassy. I need to finish this. Otherwise, Gizoba. Anyway. So we went to her house. We arrived. The first thing she does, she knows I'm going there with my husband. Her boobs are out. The minute we enter, her boobs are out. Like, Bukoma, her boobs are out in the open. Both my hubby and I can see them. And we look at each other and we're just like, why would this woman, this grown-ass woman with 2 children, do something so inappropriate, knowing very well, obviously she's about to meet strangers. Not only umuntu wesifazane, stranger, but this woman is coming with her husband. So why would she have her boobs out in the open? So we noticed that, and then, okay, she slowly puts her boobs back into her bra. Next thing, it is filthy. Her place is filthy. It stinks. But like, I'm about to spend 6.5 hours here, and we're just like, oh my gosh, what have we gotten ourselves into? And as much as one would say you should have expected it because she's Nigerian, like, we don't do that, you know? And that's why I keep saying we have nothing against other African people or Nigeria in particular. We don't do that. We don't feed into the stereotypes and. But yeah, Safiga Gunuga Pugnama Simba. Zangena, and I'm just like, so we attribute it to Ingane because she has toddlers, yeah, well, but we're just like, bro, like, you knew you had visitors. The least you could have done, even if it's messy, because I mean, toddlers will play around and they'll mess the house up. But like, agnuge freshy ge bra. Yo! So she does my hair, and the minute she starts doing my hair, the girl starts crying. The girl child starts crying. She takes the child, she gives it to me. She's like, hold her. What? First of all, I'm a stranger. Angiyazi ingane yakho. Angikwazi wena nawe awungazi nengane yakho ayikho familiar nami ingane yakhala. You're doing my hair. I'm holding ingane, and at the same time, fanele ngikhiphe, like, angithi uyazi ukuthi mesiqhina. Si khona ama braids siyakhipha la umkalela umuntu lo kulukayo lenta azoyilukhunja azoyiplanta. Hayibo, ngiyakhipha lana ngibambena ingane yatete ayisembi. Anyway, ngiyakhipha lana ingane yatetema. I'm just like, okay, this is weird. Nakona, you're not even asking me. You're like, hold here. That was strange. So hubby and I look at each other and we're just like, oh, weird. Like, I'm a menas dololo. Lombok Island in West Indonesia. Ooh, Liabona bus man. I see you. I see you. I see you. Oh, but Coco is crazy. Nah, bro. Like, that's trail, bro. That's trail. But yeah. So we look, Hubster and I look at each other and we're just like, eh, yeah, straight. I'm a menas, bruh. Like, this is just strange. Hi. So yeah. And she does my hair slowly. Next thing, she's tending to this, she's tending to that. And you typically would understand when umuntu has children, they have to, you know, tend to the children. But like, she was just busy again, phithizela mhlawumbe kube qoqa cleaner bekuzo-understandeka manje benza ilutho, just simply wasting our time. Hi. A few minutes later, her hubby arrives. He walks in there, doesn't greet. Hubster and I are looking at each other like, this is so strange. Initially, we walk in here, we enter this apartment, it reeks. Inuga amachimba, it's filthy. The wife has her boobs hanging to her knees. Next thing, Next thing, she's busy wasting our time. You already know we're going to be here for over 6 hours, but she's busy just aimlessly walking around the house doing sweet nothing. Next, her husband walks in. He doesn't greet us. Yo! And we're like, hey, man, we're different people from different countries. We're raised differently. I should say, abanabuntu. After a few minutes, usengenile kamereni, abuye, and then he greets us. And I'm like, oh, hi. So now he realized, because one thing about my husband, he will not fake it. If something is off, something is off. And he will not pretend everything is okay. His face just changed. It instantaneously changed. The minute that man walked in there and didn't acknowledge our presence, when we were there to feed him, his wife, and their children, my husband was just like, he was just disgusted. And you could see it on his face. So he eventually returns the girl's hubby. Let's call the girl who was braiding, who was doing my hair, who was plaiting my hair. Let's call her Chineke. And let's call her husband Vincent Makokombo. So Chineke is busy braiding my hair. Vincent Makokombo comes back. Thailand, of course. No, my baby, we left Thailand a week and a half ago, I think, at this point. Yeah, we left Thailand. Good try. Keep going. I love you, Liabona. Keep going. So yeah, and then he greets, like, Nje, we abandon a corner. And my husband's like, yeah, shut. And he's like, oh, shut. Are you from South Africa? And we're like, yeah, we're from South Africa. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. There are so many Nigerians in South Africa. It's the best country in the world. We all love it so much. We go there, we hustle, we do what we gotta do. We feed our families, we make a whole lot of guap, and we're winning. As the Ibu nation, we are winning. As the Ibu tribe, we are winning. Don't tell me about Yorubas. Yorubas are stupid. They're lazy. They're ugly. They're ignorant. They constantly compare themselves to us Ibus. They want to be us. They compete with us. Now my husband and I are just looking at each other like, when did we get here? Kuna tribalism nasa Nigeria. Nakona sihlangana thina. Like, if you're gonna hate your own people, like, how do you feel about us then? You know? And we're like, oh, snap. So you guys, there's a tribe you guys don't F with? And he was like, yeah, we don't fuck with the Yorubas. They also don't mess with us. And they're just lazy. They want to be us. They're jealous of us. They're envious of us. They want our lives. They want to be us. Yabo? I'm like, oh, really? And yeah, they think they think they have the most beautiful women, the most handsome men, but everybody knows the Ibu tribe is number one. We're the most hardworking. We have the most beautiful, sexiest women. Hey, Caleb. We have the sexiest women. We have the most handsome men, strong men, and Sapepanatina, Slali, Senza Shom, Seven Shaya. And we were just like, oh my, okay. Keep going, keep entertaining us. Hubby and I were just on some let's devour our popcorn while this idiot practices tribalism. And yeah, he went in on the Yoruba tribe, and he was like, you see us, Ibu, we do anything for money. We do anything for success. We can off people. We can grape people. We can steal. We can do it. And like, Hubster and I are looking at each other like, and this guy, like, une pride, like he's actually admitting they engage in criminal activities and they do anything to ruin other people's lives and they do anything just to get ahead. Like, that's crazy. And we see this in our country. We see them ruining our country and the lives of our people. But like, for them to actually utter it, even though like in most cases they act like they're innocent and basugelo. So this guy, oh my, okay, keep going. Yabo? It's like, we do anything for success, whatever it takes. We are the Ibu tribe, Ibu nation. We're number one and everybody wants to be us. The Yorubas want to be us. That's why we boom, they're women. Hey, guys, and we're just like, oh my gosh. And they were like, even if we were to meet another Yoruba in a different country, the fact that we're Nigerian doesn't suffice. Ukuthi nje uYoruba ngikufuni, but ngizoyisondeza eduze kwakho khona uzongifundisa whatever skill onayo ungifake intweni, and then I'm going to take you down. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to take your place. Ngithatha ama-customer akho, thatha ibhizinisi lakho, ngidicilele phansi. Us, the Ibu tribe, we do whatever it takes to succeed and to be number one. How? Oh my. And we're just like, oh my, you're hustlers, you're hard workers. Oh, we see, they're jealous of you because you're banyisa, you know? And then it's like, yeah. So now he's getting super familiar and he's like, let me prepare some food. Goes to the kitchen, prepares some food. After a couple of minutes, he comes back with igusi naleli papa labo elingavuthiwe. And he's like, I'm sure you guys are hungry. Come join us. And we're like, no, we're good. We are good. Hubster and I were like, we're good. Don't worry about it. We ate before we came here and we've only been here for a few minutes. It's okay. They're like, no. We can't let you starve. We can't let you just sit and watch us eat. It's time for us to eat. Everybody's eating now. Mom, dad, children, visitors, come join us. Yo, lapho I'm like, hawe ma, ngiyalingwa ngisehlane yini, angifune kudlana na igusi mina. Already lendlini wamasimba igusi angikaze ngiyihalela angikaze ngiyifune ngihlezi ngibona amantombazane ase-South Africa edla amanyala edla ojolof igusi nawo wonke ubrakadatumba, and I'm just like, yuck, never me, yabo. And I respect other people's cultures and I know food is part of culture yabantu, but angifuni, like mengafuni ukuzama ukudla kwakho futhi angifuni, musungifoqa, musungiposta, musungifoster, what the hell, musungiphoqa, musungifoster. That's what I wanted to say. Tongue twisters, yabo. Hey, bruh. And obviously we don't want to come across as rude. We are visitors here and we want to make sure Chineke finishes her job properly. Yo, we join them at the table and they're like, okay, and they show us by tapune kanje ngeminwe, by foot emlomeni. Kungakanan lapho kudla kwakhona. But tapune lelipapa labo lokunjani. Elingavuthiwe. Balifake emlomeni and they're like, this is how we eat. I'm like, yo, can I get a fork? And they look at me like, hey bo, oqala ngikufuna ukudla lokudla. Secondly, angidli ngezandla. Ngeke nize ningenza isilwane ngingesona. Ngifuna ukudla ngemfoloko. Excuse me, hi, Chineke fetches a fork for me. Get a fork, ngithatha ipapa nkosi yami lingavuthiwe. Ngithi kancane ngilinxunze, ngithi igusi ngithi. Oqala into yanyamfuka, ithi pici. Ngathi amafinyile. Hawe ma, ngifaka emlomeni, I'm like, but like ngaphakathi, because obviously manners asifani thina nabo sinobuntu sifundisiwe ukuthi uyabahlonipha abantu, hlonipha iculture yabo, hlonipha ukudla kwabo. But like I wanted to throw up because it was so disgusting. And so my husband, and I was so shocked because my husband doesn't pretend for anybody. But that time he was just like, hey babe, kushubile, we have to respect the culture yabanye abantu, let's try our best. I can imagine you wanting to cover your nose, but awukwazi. Pee smell, poop smell. Not even just pee, poop smell, my bro. Yo. So, I'm just like, lapho basiphakele okwethu. You get me? And kungakanan, like intaba. Just like, oh man, liyabona, busman, I wanted to cry. I wanted a hole to swallow me. Like, I wanted to the ground to open up and swallow me. I look at my hubby and he's just like, and shame, yo, he took one for the team because he was just gobbling. And he was just like, and I was just like, slowly, and minage, gidlela, ngibabambela, because angifuni banotice ukuthi ngikuphi ngokomqondo and ngokwama feelings ukuthi nginyanyile manje ukuthi angihlanze ubusapha, but ngibabambela, ngiyabaxoxisa. Manje eNigeria nenze njani ke? Oh, nidla lokho. Oh, ekseni. Oh, ntambama. Oh, manje jollofu. Nifakani kwijollof? Ah, Uganda. Oh, Ghana. Oh, Ghana nayo yenza jollof. Oh, but the Nigerian jollof is the best. Oh, okay. I've never tasted it before. I would love to try it. I hear, oh, it is the best. We even have jollof restaurants in South Africa. I said, ngiyawazi. Nami nje mengise South Africa ngenza show ukuthi angidluli laphayana. Khona else sunny side. Babambela. Because I can't stomach this crap that I'm eating. My husband is just like, taking one for the team, my wife, I'm gonna do this for us, yabo? It's going in. Yo, bruh! That shit was disgusting. Yo, the fact that they forced us to eat their food and it tasted so bad. Ngathi udla mafinyila, aphuma enqeni, anuka into ongayazi, angazi nokuthi ngizothandukani, yazi ngiyafuna ngempela ukuhlonipha abanye abantu nama-cultures abo nokudla kwabo, kodwa baze basinyisa ngathi udla amafinyila ney'nkwahla ney'khwehlela ey'phuma enqeni zahobo sekuphela iminyaka engagezi, kunuka amatshimba, kuyanyamfuka nanepapa alivuthiwe kodwa fanele udle wenze ngathi yonke into right. Like, why would you want to put us in that situation? Why would you want to put us in that position? Like, already we politely declined. Say an entertainer. I don't know what you're saying, but I like it. I like you, King Grayson. Hi, precious Diva. I love your earrings. Yes, S-E-S. Take a deep breath and think before you let it go. Ja, kom uit dan. S-E-X. Take a deep breath and think before you let it go. Yes. So it's just like, hey, I'd sing properly for you, but I'm still recovering, bro. Anyway, so it's just like, what the hell is going on? Why would you put us in this position? Like, this is so gross. Hey, we soldiered through, my bro. And hubby and I, the entire time, were just like, here. Just answering whatever we're asked, responding to whatever it is that's being said. And if we felt we needed to respond, and we were just like, so traumatized. We were traums. That was just like, I never want to go through that shit again. I've never done my hair la payana ever again, simply because of that. And also they don't have manners, la babantu. They're very rude, and they think crime is cool, and they think they can just force people to engage in things they don't want to engage in. They don't respect other people. So I was just like, hey man, thanks, but no thanks, never again. So I found a new braider or a new hairdresser. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you've just joined the live, we have a giveaway today. You will win $500 if you tell me where I am right now, which island my husband and I are currently on, and you can win. You will, not even can, you will win 500 rands. But this will only last in namhlanje, because if I guess in namhlanje and then you see my next live or vlog or whatever, and I tell you where exactly I am, it'll defeat the purpose, because uzobusuwazi and uzobusungcheater lapho. You get me? Yabo? So you have me namhlanje, bro, until the end of today to guess which island I'm currently on. Low key though, our women have given the Jollof brothers power. Definitely, Luyabona. Definitely. Imagine how these people have self-entitlement on our sisters because they claim they have money. Pofu. Right? Right? That time, bakibela that time, baba ngengwenya Komanau River, Williabona Busman, like Bash Joel Alab. And okay, Loba Sekaya, I shame. Baltaisili izwe lethu basichaphazile nje, basichaphazile basenzele phansi babukisile ngathi and basakwenza namanje, and it really isn't worth it. Buka manje ukuthi basidelela kanjani. Buka manje they're grouping even those girls who are just like me now, white and green flag all the way. They're grouping you with us, xenophobes and Afrophobes. They don't care about you. They've never loved you. You're just being used. Uyacabanga masunengane nabo. Usunengane nalabantu. You guys made your bed. You guys made your bed. Lay in it. Read it any. But nje, cela ningasijwayeli kabi. Cela niyekele imikhuba yenu yokulamba kambi. Bese nisijwayeza nehlama enamakhanda potshokile that are obsessed with us. And abafisa ukube yithina. Nilala nabantu abafisa ukube yithina. Are you insane? And I know that's ukuthi kunzima mfethu ukuthola indoda right, like it's a huge achievement ukuthola indoda right, wena, generous, that's all about you, that's loyal, that's faithful, that's loving, respectful, romantic, and it's a huge achievement, and that's why so many women are jealous of other women who have gotten that. But these men exist, bro. They exist in South Africa. You don't need to sell the country. Angahleni bocholofina, angahleni. At so many islands in Africa, when does this... I'm not in Africa. That's how you got... That's the problem. That's the number one problem, my love. I am not in Africa. That's clue number... Oh gosh, liyabona bossman uthi namakhanda potshokile. Abe besijwayela kabi, sigcwala ingqondo zabo nje bro. Like I know ukuthi bafethu ukuthola amadoda rights kodwa khona mfethu. Asikho nje isidingo soku-entertaina labantu banyanyisa indlela abakhuluma ngayo, i-accent yabo, abana menazi, into abayaziyo nje ukusplurge imali. Phela. Ungitshela ukuthi wena that's all nje wena obona ukuthi uyakudeserve empilweni ukuze ukwazi ukuzalela umuntu ukwazi uku-entertain indoda. Hayi kahleni guys, angahlala angenithande ke noma nina ningasirigada ke thina, ningangasihlonipha thina nezwe lethu namanye amantombazane, anibona ukuthi mhlambe nyasirepresenta. Nina ke self angenithande nihloniphe. Hawu! Ew! And that brings me to the end of my life. Guys, izwi lami selize liyasha ngisho ukusha. I'm gassy as hell. My husband's been waiting for me. We're about to have dinner. That's another clue. We're not in Africa. I'm on an island and segwisepsula sikon. Okay? So that should tell you. You have, I don't know how many hours because you guys are in different parts of the world, but I'll give you 24 hours because I'm generous like that. You have 24 hours to tell me which island I'm currently on, and you will win 500 bucks. Thank you so much for joining my live. I absolutely love you. Please hit the like button, share this live, share the link, and make sure you let your chanas and your chanas and your chanas know, Wuti, we are cheer, okay? You are my sugar binga bungas. I appreciate your support, and let's grow this channel, man. I truly do appreciate even those who've been riding with me for the longest of times and those who are new here. I appreciate you, King Grayson. You have been consistent. Liabona Busman, I love how you continuously engage, and I'm so sorry ukuthi these comments won't show once you live phela ama comments ayasuka, and I hate that. I don't understand why that happens, because when you watch the live isiphelile, like umusha uba nokuthi ubekhuluma yedwa yini bephendulani apho lawo ma comments. But yeah, thank you so much for engaging. It makes it so much more fun, and yeah, I will see you next time. Let me know what you think, actually. Before Mpumi, let me know what you think about this whole South Africa versus Nigeria thing. Let me know what you think about Mihlali and her saga and her getting her karma, even though it came in the form of things ezisinyanyisayo ezingekho right, but ke karma nonetheless. Let me know what you think of perpetrators being a-holes and playing the victim card. Let me know what you think of Musa Khawula's passing. RIP to him if he really has passed, but if not, then please come back. Ngingumgqumeni angifi mina. And yeah, let me know what you think of nje yonke into in general and how nje the world is njengamanje kumahliphi rise. But ke rihlaba sharp. RIP to Mam Zanele Mbogazi and Mazet. You've played your part. You've done everything obufisa ukuyenza. You are a legend. RIP to Mam Koni, aka Mam Sonto, aka Batuma Baby. And with that, I am out. I love you, DJ Ash. Mwah, 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 mwah. Coron Island in the Philippines. No, Liabona, my baby. I'm not there. Keep trying, my love. I feel like I have a strong feeling. Uguti, this 500 bucks is going to Liabona Bosman. Just keep going. 24 hours. Mwah.